Hello, everyone. It's Monday. Happy Monday, the first day of the week. I hope your day is going well. You know how Monday goes. Most people dread it. I know y'all was probably dreading it on Sunday, but I hope that the day is going well. We're actually getting nice weather up here now, finally, because I was sick and tired of the rain and the 51-degree weather, and it was going off and on. It was driving me insane. So now this week it's going to start to actually feel like spring going into summer. I'm looking forward to the 80 degrees weather. It's going to be great. It's going to be perfect. And shout out to Miss Jalen for being the first one to tap in. I appreciate you. How are you doing, sis? I hope everything is well with you. So, yes, guys, I have three cases for you. Okay, let's see. Gotta go block this person right now. There you go. Actually, okay, great. So I have three cases for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy them. Just make sure you're hitting the like button for me while you're tuning in, and please share this out to anyone that you think that would be interested in looking at these type of cases. Okay. So the first one that I have for you guys is a oldie but a goodie. There's something wrong with a woman named Leticia, okay? I think it has something to do with her stepson, and he was unalive, and I think that we need to review this, right? Because I want to know if she did have anything to do with his unaliving, then what was the reason behind it? So let me go ahead and pull up my screen, and let's see what is with these weird people putting things in here. Like, I don't even know who Melly is. Like, oh my God. All right. So let me pull up my screen, and here we go.
This story will begin in 2015, when 31-year-old Leticia Hunt married the so-called love of her life, Al Stauch. Leticia became a mother of three. She was the biological mother to her daughter Harley, who Leticia had with her late ex-husband. And now she was the stepmother to both of Al's children, Lena and Gannon. Al shared custody of both Lena and Gannon with his ex-wife, Landon Bullard. Leticia has an extensive academic background, including a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of North Carolina, Pembroke, a master's degree in curriculum and instruction from Capella University, and even a doctorate degree in education from Liberty University. Leticia worked in education in South Carolina, mainly as an assistant teacher, but also managed to pick up a few full-time teaching positions along the way. Her LinkedIn highlights one of her key job roles during that time period as an educator/teacher and an at-risk youth coordinator. However, in 2016, her South Carolina teaching license was suspended after she abandoned her teaching duties with the district after 7 days of employment. Leticia said she left because she experienced harassment and retaliation after requesting to be released from a contract due to a pending military move, which she claims had been denied. This claim had some credibility since Al worked in the Army National Guard full-time and was frequently based around the country for several weeks at a time. She also alleged that the district superintendent's niece was Al's ex-wife and that the harassment and retaliation were due to this relationship. She threatened to file a claim with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, otherwise known as an EEOC claim. When she did so, her claims were investigated and found to be unsubstantiated. Once her 180-day suspension had passed, Leticia continued pursuing her teaching career. Over the next few years, she gained employment and resigned from multiple different schools in South Carolina. Eventually, that process carried on to other states as well. In January of 2019, Al and Leticia moved to Colorado for Al's work. Leticia, Al, Gannon, Lena, and Harley all now live together on Mandan Drive, in the community of Lorson Ranch. The kids were enrolled in school, and Harley even got a new job at Massage Envy. After a few months of settling in, Leticia obtained her Colorado teaching license and became a substitute teacher for the Widefield School District in southern El Paso County, followed by a teaching position at French Elementary. Her next opportunity came from Mountain Ridge Middle School in the Academy School District 20, located in the Briargate neighborhood of Colorado Springs. On January 24, 2020, Leticia was attending job orientation when her conditional employment offer was rescinded due to inconsistent information during her background check. Fortunately for Leticia, she had held on to her employment at French Elementary. Regardless, it is widely believed that this moment may have acted as the catalyst for the horrific acts that soon followed. On January 26th, while Al was in Oklahoma for military training and Harley was at work at Massage Envy, Leticia, Gannon, and Lena went hiking at Garden of the Gods, a 1,341-acre public park located in Colorado.
So far, it doesn't seem anything too out of the normal, right? She was dating this military guy. She had a education job. She seemed like she was well educated. Something happened where she was dealing with some form of discrimination. She went the right process, filed for it. They did an investigation. They didn't feel that it was credible, and then she ended up removing, going somewhere else and getting another teaching job with another license for that state. It doesn't seem anything too crazy. So I want to know why they say that when she went for this new job and it was denied, saying that she left out some background information, why something happened to the stepson in this process, because I'm still not getting why the stepson was quote unquote lost his life. But I guess we're going to figure that out now when they tell us about this camping experience that the family did.
Colorado Springs. This was a frequent activity of theirs, and Leticia would often post about it on her Facebook page. The photos you are seeing now are from that day. Once arriving back home, Gannon supposedly knocked over a candle and burned the carpet. She sent multiple text messages to Al about the incident, saying Gannon was scared and freaking out, but he was okay. She also posted a video to her Facebook profile where Gannon can be heard crying while Leticia tells him that he needs to choose what they will sell in order to cover the costs to repair the carpet.
Thank you, Chicago Finest. I don't see it though, but I appreciate the compliment.
I can't lie when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? Okay, all right, so listen. We're going to have to sell stuff to fix it, okay? We can sell the sofa, we can sell whatever, because we got to get it fixed, so lady. Don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay? You got it?
Hey, Ricardo. Good to see you again.
The next
How's
morning,
everything?
on January 27th, she texted Al that Gannon would not be going to
Hey,
school.
Flower,
She
how
also
are
called
you,
into
dear?
work stating that her stepfather had been hit and killed by a car. This story was half true, as her stepfather had been hit and killed by a car. However, the accident had actually taken place many years earlier. Anyway, that same day, on January 27th, 2020, approximately 12 hours after calling into work, just before 7 p.m., Leticia made another phone call, this time to 911.
Location of the emergency. Well, just the Ep.57, the engine died.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Miss Jellian. I don't understand, why does she need to sell a sofa to fix a carpet? And then why was that even recorded? I mean, I'm glad that we got a chance to hear it, but why do you need to sell a sofa to fix a carpet? If it was just a spill or a stain in the carpet, can't you get a carpet cleaner? I mean, you could even rent one of those carpet cleaners from, I think, Walmart. You can rent it for the day, the heavy duty ones, to get the stain out. If not, then you might have to replace it. But I would think that a carpet would be, depending on, like, if you're one of those actual attached to your floor carpet and not just like something like a blanket type of carpet that's in one area, you should be able to replace that. And I think a sofa would cost more than a carpet. I'm just saying. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. But I don't understand the whole selling a sofa to fix the carpet. And then if you sent a message to the father to let him know that the child was freaked out, but everything's okay, then why are you continuing to scold him about whether he did it on purpose or not? At this point, it doesn't matter if he did it on purpose or not. The damage is done. Just go ahead and get it fixed. So I'm kind of worried about that type of situation right there. Okay. Yes, it's good to see you, Flower. It's good to see you. Oh, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. I'm time you out for that one. Let's see. Onyx says trying to guilt trip the kid, I think. I think so too. Wicked West said manipulation. Yes, I agree. I agree. That's what it does sounds like, because he already, you said that he was startled and he was upset, like he thought he was going to get in trouble. You told the father, you said everything was okay. He was a little scared, but then you're recording telling the little boy, did you do it on purpose? Tell me if you did it on purpose. We're going to have to sell a sofa to fix the carpet. What? That's just weird to me. It's so weird. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? I hope everything is going well. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, guys. So y'all feeling what I'm feeling. Let's go on with this.
A lot of things. Okay, so that one looks like sure, and that's with her question. 57 London Drive. Okay, so number you're calling from? 843-55. Your name? Pizza. Please tell me, sir. I didn't know if I'm supposed to call emergency or not emergency about that. My phone says you know it's difficult and it's almost 7. And we went to like one friend's house and what he's gonna do with friend's house and they started living there and the other one said they never came there. Well, I don't know any other people calling out and I talked to my husband, so I told him I don't know anyone else. And I don't know if there's like a time limit, but like he's only 11. He's 11. 11, yeah. Okay. What's the thing? And then, for me, you can open. Nora, spelled Spauch.
After being directed to a non-emergency number, Leticia explained again that Gannon went out to spend some time with his friends, and that he was already about an hour late coming home. She also explained that she went to Gannon's friend's house searching for Gannon, but with no success. Despite all of this, when she was speaking to the non-emergency phone operator, she was unable to name any of Gannon's friends, or their parents, or where they lived. At 7:32 p.m., Gannon Stauch was entered into the state and national databases.
I'm sorry, but that's very weird to me, right? The first call you made and we overheard where she's chastising the boy, asking, I'm saying, did he spill the drink on the carpet on purpose? And that he supposedly has to sell a sofa for the carpet. And then now, hours later, the next call you make is not emergency, but it's the non-emergency number to say that a 11-year-old went to some friend's house that you don't know and he's not back before curfew. I'm sorry. I have a 12-year-old, right? And he's about to be 13. My son still to this day do not go nowhere unless I know who the hell he's with. And he ain't going to no random person's house that I don't know the parents, I don't have their number, and I don't know what time, what time he's coming back. And even if I don't see that he's traveling by himself, I'm going to go get him, right? He's 11 years old. I'm going to take into consideration it's a different type of neighborhood. It's a more it's very community based. It could even be a gated community. Who knows? Something that's in walking distance that she, allowed him to go walk. That's her business. But even at that time, where is the actual real concern? Because she doesn't even seem concerned. That 11-year-old said that he's going to go hang out with his friends. You don't know the friend's name. You don't know the parent's name. But supposedly you went to their house and he wasn't there. And he was already an hour past his curfew. Like, okay, I mean, in this day and age, most kids have cell phones. I mean, I've seen 7-year-olds with cell phones, right? Like, I get it. I mean, not every kid is gonna have a cell phone, and not every kid needs a cell phone. But it's just little things that she did in that moment doesn't seem right to me, especially for an 11-year-old, right? 11-year-old they barely just jumped out of 10, right? You should really be knowing where they're going, who they're with, and having numbers and stuff like that. That should not, I don't know, to me personally, it shouldn't stop or it shouldn't get a little loose until they actually turn into a teenager and they can show that they have responsibility to come back when you say to come back. I just think that that's quite odd that she did that. That's just me. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. Let's see. Onyx said, I don't hear panic in her voice. I freak when my girl's late. Yes, exactly. Like if my son is not coming home when he said he was supposed to be coming home, and I know it doesn't even matter if he's with his father. I'm sitting out there looking at the window. Like, are they about to roll up soon? Where the vehicle at? Like, that's how I am. So it's just like, it's just weird to me that, she's a little bit, I guess, too calm, especially when she said that he's already an hour late from curfew. And then not to even know who the kid is, but you knew the address. Now, how can the cops or anybody track that you actually went to somebody's house? What you could have went to your friend's house and your friends don't even have children and the boy had never been there, but you could just say, well, I left my house at 8 p.m. You saw me get in my car and leave my house at 8 p.m. So I must have went to this quote unquote best friend's house to see if he was there. It's just weird to me. It's weird to me. Hey, how you doing? Yui, how you doing? Starch is a German name, so he should be on time. I like that. I like that. Good to see you, sir. Hey, Candy, how are you? It's good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great Monday. Hope you're having a great Monday. Young Ria says, my dad is very protective over me. Yes. And you should be, right? You should be very protected over your children and loved one. Why not? Yes, very nonchalant. I agree. I definitely agree. So now he's apparently missing. Enough time has passed where they put him on the missing children's list. Let's see her actions throughout the month while this child is missing. Okay.
As an active runaway. Just under 3 hours later, at around 10 p.m., deputies with the El Paso Sheriff's Office searched Leticia's house with her permission, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The next day, on January 28th, Leticia drove her car, a Volkswagen Tiguan, to a short-term parking lot at the airport and rented a 2019 Kia Rio. She proceeded to pick Al up from the airport, who returned home from training in light of the bad news, ready to get involved in the search for his son. She told Al that she was using a rental car to avoid any mileage on her lease. This was the first red flag for Al, considering the state of emergency that they were in. Leticia also told him that she had parked her car at the elementary school where she had worked, so Al decided to drive to the school to verify this. However, Leticia's car was nowhere in sight. As previously mentioned, Leticia had actually left her car at the short-term parking lot at the airport, but she oddly decided to withhold that information from Al. Al's ex-wife / Gannon's mother, Landon, traveled from South Carolina to Colorado to stay in the Stouch household while the search efforts continued. They spent the entire afternoon of January 28th searching for Gannon before Leticia went off on her own. At around 7 p.m., Leticia brought the rental vehicle back to the airport parking lot, parked it, and then left with her Tiguan. 3 hours later, at 10:30 p.m., Leticia's biological daughter Harley picks up Leticia near North Powers Boulevard and Carefree Circle North. The Tiguan was nowhere in sight. At this point,
so my thing is, why did she park her car or supposedly leave her car at her job? And then the husband go find out that her car is not even there. She's traveling out around in a rental car, and then her daughter picks her up on some corner. What was the whole point of that? Did anybody hear what was the point of her doing that? Because I'm thinking about rewinding a little bit because I don't understand why did she even park her car there and why she's running around in a rental. Even in that, that's very suspicious. Is it because maybe your vehicle have some evidence that you're trying to hide? And if the cops can't get in contact with your car, they might not find out what happened to Gannon? Because it just seems very weird to me that out of nowhere, you have your boyfriend or fiance's son missing and you're driving around in a rental car. I don't know. Candy says, I have a hard time letting my 9-year-old out of my sight to go play in the neighborhood. They always have to have their watches on that has trackers, but they just got phones for their birthdays. I track my son when he goes to school. Like I have a tracker on his phone So I know when he leaves early in the morning to go to school and when he comes home from school, and any single time he leaves his father's house. I track him all throughout the day. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I need to know what's going on. Let's go on.
In the timeline, it is unclear what Leticia did between 7 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. In order to make this case easier to follow, we will now refer to these mysterious hours as the January 28th gap. We will circle back to this gap later. About 15 minutes after being picked up by Harley, at 10:45 p.m., Leticia texted investigators the following. "What do you want from me? Because I have nothing. One of your very own leaked to me what you guys were doing. I did nothing or am being set up. I'm not really even sure other that being told that by another blue with El Paso. I was told I couldn't go home to sleep, and on top of that, men were sent to a home with a minor female, and she was forced to stay there and not even have good. Every conversation that said, even at this moment, I can hear inside. What do you want from me?" Detective Bethel responded with, "Come talk to me. I would just like information to find Gannon." The next morning, on January 29th, Leticia voluntarily met with El Paso Sheriff's Office investigators to discuss Gannon's disappearance. She arrived 2 hours late driving her Tiguan again, which appeared to be squeaky clean. If investigators didn't find any of her behavior suspicious just yet, Leticia seemed determined to change that in this interview. Leticia was now
No, everything that this woman doing is suspicious. She's not acting as a caring stepmother to a missing child who was in your possession the last time he was seen. Like, she's not acting like that at all. She's running around here with rental cars. You don't know where her vehicle is. She's getting picked up by her daughter. She had that random recording of her scolding Gannon before he supposedly went to his friend's house that you don't even know the name of. You don't know his parents. You don't have a phone number, but supposedly you had an address to go see if he was there when he didn't make curfew. And then now she's not even out there looking for him. She's out here doing everything else. And when the sheriff's department is like, hey, we just want to ask you a couple questions and, what happened the last time you was with him and stuff, you're getting attitude talking about, why are you bothering me? I don't know anything. Like, you're more defensive than concerned about this young boy. You're acting very suspicious. And then why is your car is squeaky clean? Like, I'm not trying to say that, your car is supposed to be a pigsty, right? And we know us females, we tend to do that a little bit more than men because men love their cars. Just saying, just throwing that out there. But, your car is squeaky clean as if you was trying to get rid of something. It's very disturbing, very disturbing. Growing Farm says she did something to him. I believe she did. Yes, I do. Sounds unreasonable. Yeah, it does. She is so sus. Yes, I agree, Onyx. And yes, please everyone, trigger warning. Just in case if we hear something or if you see something that is horrible and despicable, especially since this is a case that has to do with a underage child. If this is too much for you, I completely understand. Please go ahead and touch grass or go watch something that's a little bit more pleasant than this, okay? I truly would understand. Yes, men's cars are cleaner. I agree. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Oh, you're not that late, sweetheart. This is the first case. I hope you're having a great Monday. Let's go on. This is now the interrogation. She finally agreed to come down to the station and speak with them.
Now making several different claims.
And then just because you're in here and you're in our building and stuff, do you mind if I just pat you down really quick? That's how we hug. Okay. I just need you to face that way for me. I wasn't sure if you need me. Yeah, go ahead and put your arms out for me and separate your legs slightly for me. Okay. There you go. Hey. How you doing? Good. Did you get some sleep?
I haven't eaten today.
Oh my goodness. Do you want something to eat? I've got some stuff.
I would love that.
What would you like? I've got some pizza Hot Pocket
and some tamales and a breakfast burrito.
Pizza Hot Pockets would be good. But I mean, you don't have to like.
No, we can get you something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So what I want you to do is take me through Sunday into Monday.
Okay.
And be as detailed as possible as to what you were doing, who was there, where you were at, how long you spent, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Because the more detail I have, it might spark something for me.
Is it okay if I take my notes out? Because like I wrote down all
Yeah,
kinds of stuff.
yeah,
and I was
absolutely.
Because I was like, I tried to write down anything you might like say, and just in case, because I.
Hold up. She got notes. Now, I understand why she would have a note, but to me that even seems even more sus to me. I'm sorry. You had notes to point out what they're going to ask you to make sure that you answer it correctly. And you don't want to, stray away from what you have written down that you have believed that is credible and plausible. And to me, that would make me like, if I was the detective in the room, that would make me very weary of you, that you sat back for a couple of hours and you thought about what you're going to actually say and how you're going to frame whatever questions that we might pop out and ask you, right? And you wrote down in details what you want to remember. Now, again, it seems sus to me. However, some people, they do get nervous, they do get anxious, and they like to write things down, right? I don't want to make it seem like that is something criminal. It's not. I'm just stating that it's sus to me because you didn't even want to even come down initially. You gave them attitude when they sent you a text saying that, hey, can you just stop by so we can get a little bit more information? You haven't been going around trying to find this missing boy, and you're not showing any love or concern. So that's the only reason why it seems very sus to me that you come here with notes. It's just crazy. Yeah, notes, Onyx, notes. Hey, Jenna, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. Right, written notes, Yui, yes. Got to keep her lies straight. I agree. Let's go on.
I have like notes from different things or whatever.
Leticia proceeded to tell the detectives about her timeline on the 26th, leading into the 27th. She talked about her hike at the Garden of the Gods with the kids, the candle incident that ruined the carpet, and how she let Gannon skip school due to an upset stomach. She then explained that in fear of Al getting angry at her, she panicked while trying to find a way to fix the carpet as soon as possible. To streamline the repair process, Leticia did not contact any carpet services. Instead, she went straight to the new model homes being developed nearby and asked a group of Hispanic men if anybody would take an odd job to fix the carpet. Apparently, a man named Eduardo was up to the task. She gave him the code to her garage and went on with her day.
Okay,
and then,
so you leave around 10 something, and then you get back around 2 something.
I feel like it was like 2:35, 2:25, 2 something. He goes in through the garage. I go in. I'm getting ready to put up the things, stuff like that. And this is where it got. I made a mistake. This is it.
Okay.
And the guy was in there.
Bruce is not here yet, Candy.
The guy from the...
Yeah.
Oh no, Miss Jayla, you better not be this lady's lawyer.
Okay.
Hey, Betty. Who goes to questioning for murder with a list of things that came to mind? Exactly, Betty.
He was inside.
Okay,
I heard something.
those
I
with
walked
bills
to
and
the storage
specific
closet,
information
opened the
like
storage closet.
okay,
And when I
right.
do, it's him. And he was standing in there. He had
Yes,
a gun.
Joanne, a child, 11-year-old.
Okay.
He had one of the guns. And I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was terrified. And then he just knocked me down and like towards Gannon's room. And he was like hitting on me. It was like hard, like on the ground.
Okay.
And he was trying to like rape me. And I told her. And I said, I have to tell you about this.
Okay.
And like.
Wait, hold on. So, again, this is annoying me a little bit. I'm getting very frustrated with this woman. You didn't want to do the interrogation. You gave them an attitude. You've been acting suspicious this whole entire time. This boy is missing. You have not shown any concern about the boy. And now, when you come in, the first thing you want to do is to tell them about you hiring some guy off the street who supposedly tried to rape you. And this is where all your freaking emotion comes to. Now, I'm not trying to say you're not supposed to be emotional if someone tried to sexually assault you, but you had no emotion about this boy who is the son of your lover, of your fiance, is missing, and he was with you the last time he was seen alive, and you had no concern. And now you're doing all this sobbing and crying about this supposedly person that you hired off the street who tried to sexually assault you. So now you're only making it about you. And that's very telling, and it's going to be very telling to these detectives in the room how you are placing all this concern about you and not about this boy. Not one single tear did you cry for this boy, but here you are talking about somebody supposedly want to rape you. Listen, girl, okay, all right. Yes, I'm done with her already. It's really sad. Joanne says that's terrible, but this woman is not crying. Yeah, she's not even crying. She's doing a whole act right now. She's really acting out right now. Like it's really pathetic, really. It looks a bit pathologic. Yeah, it really does. Girl, stop reading my like I just can't. Like I really can't.
And I'm sitting there like freaking out, like, okay, what do you want me to do? Blah blah blah. So, and then he asked me to give him a suitcase, and I gave him a brown suitcase, and then he hit me on the head again, and I like right here. He just kept like hitting me right there like that.
Okay.
And so then he did that, and then I blacked out again. I was having a panic attack, and then I don't know what happened from there. I really don't. I don't know. I just know that I did lie. I did. When they came, I did say, get and left, whatever, you know that.
Okay.
But he never did. He never left to go play. I just didn't know what to do, and I panicked in the moment. And I didn't want Albert to be like trying to hurt us, because we kind of get in a lot of fights.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. And I'm sorry that it might have delayed, like looking for Gannon. I do not know where Gannon was. I do not know. I do not know his whereabouts from that point on. But it was still in the same time frame that I gave you guys. So there was no contradictory to that same time frame, because it still was about 4 o'clock.
Do you need the restroom or anything like that?
No, I'm actually, I mean, am I like free to leave, or?
We're not holding you here. We'd like to get you over to the hospital for that.
No, I would totally do that, but I really am. I just want to get some food and take a minute, and I can drive myself to the hospital. I don't want to feel like I'm some, person they're going to look at differently because I am showing up with, police and people, and I just.
Let me go check on a couple of things really quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay?
Okay, you said I was free to go.
Are you wanting to leave right now?
I'm really hungry. I'm thirsty. Look at my lips; they're chapped.
Okay. Can you give me just a few minutes to just check to make sure that I've covered everything that I need to cover, and then I'll come back in?
She said that I would be able to go.
And I'm not saying that you can't. I'm asking if you can give me a few minutes. That's all.
I can. If you can, you just call me, or. I mean.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay. So can you show me how to leave, please?
I have to go over here. Let me get somebody to escort you out.
Okay.
I am beyond heated right now. If y'all don't hear the tone in my voice, I am beyond heated with this woman. Not only it seems like she has involvement in the missing of this young boy. She sat up here and she did a whole cockapity lie about some random working guy trying to sexually assault her, hit her upside her head, and when she was out cold, apparently he did something to Gannon or took Gannon. And she sat up there and she made the lie to them saying that Gannon went to his friend's house and he didn't come back because she didn't know what happened and she didn't want to, you know, talk about what happened to her and all the stuff like that. And I can't believe that she even thought that that was going to fly. Like, that is very sickening. That you're just random person just like, oh, at first he wanted to sexually assault you, but that wasn't good enough. Let me just go take this 11-year-old boy. And then, so he did all that. He knocked you out, but then guess what? Nothing in your house is missing. There's nothing of a robbery. You didn't report it. You didn't call the cops. But you've been moving ever since this boy's been missing. You've been moving like you had something to hide. You've been cleaning your vehicle as if you're trying to hide some residue or try to get blood stains out of your vehicle, saliva, anything of that sort. Whatever, dirt, whatever. For her to even use that is just like really like wicked and sickening. It's wicked and sickening. And then here she is. Oh, okay, well, we can take you to the hospital. We can go get that rape kit going. Oh, no, I could drive myself. Everything's okay. You see how quick that those tears went away? They evaporated because they never existed. They evaporated. Oh, no, I'm fine. I'll take myself. I need to go. I just want to get out of here. Can I go? She wanted to make sure that she was not going to be detained. She didn't want them to hold her while they sit and they search her house, and now they go search her vehicle. So she wanted to see, am I being detained? Is this still just like an interview? This woman is very sickening, man. She's really disgusting. Because now I see exactly how she tried to play this out. She tried to play this out like some random guy. He was supposed to be getting paid to fix the carpet that had a stain on it. But apparently he came in and he started oops upside your head and he wanted to sexually assault you. And then you blacked out and now all of a sudden you don't know where Gannon is. Oh my God. Let's go on. I just can't.
Hey. Hi. She said that I could go.
Well,
she's a sociopath.
But you told me I could.
I know, but I left.
I understand that.
So we started and I left, and I just want to get the fill in. So I have a couple questions about Sunday, if you're okay.
Yeah, she does have a hidden background.
I know you're tired.
I'm tired.
But
you said that I could go. I just want to take a break. That's all I'm asking for.
Where do you want to?
That means I want to just go rest. Like she said, I could drive myself to the hospital, so I just don't want.
What do we need to go to the hospital for?
Am I able to just?
No, you can't go, ho.
To just go. I mean, you can know why I'm going to the hospital because she wants to get DNA.
DNA.
Like, or to have your body checked for, right. So.
Were you sexually assaulted?
Right.
When did that happen?
It happened on Monday.
On Monday? Okay.
I can't.
So let me make sure that we've got everything lined up for a SANE exam. That's what she was talking about.
Yeah,
right?
she's gonna do that, and I'm gonna just take a break. I want to get food. Look at my lips; they're chapped. I haven't.
You want some food?
I know.
What do you want to eat?
Okay, she just said I could be escorted out.
No, you can't go.
I
Because you don't
promise. You have my number. I haven't not.
You're done with all this?
Right. I haven't not communicated with you. I have been.
Are you done with that coke?
Nothing but. Can I not take it?
You can if you want.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you were done with it. We recycle them too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay. Hang tight for me just real quick. Let me make sure that she doesn't have any other questions because
All right, so obviously this girl has been doing her homework. She's been doing her homework. Yes. Move around to the MJ corner. Hi, Philip. What is this? It seemed that the stepmother unalived her stepson, and she has this crazy story that some guy came in and sexually assaulted her and knocked her out, and the son is missing. So apparently this random guy took the kid. What type of room is that? That just looks like a sit down discussion room. It's not really an interrogation room, but they were just interviewing her. That's why it looks a little bit more homey. She knows her DNA is on the can. Yes, Candy, exactly. That's why I said that she kind of did her homework, and it makes sense, right? She came in there with notes. She came in there already with notes, knowing what to say. She knew how to turn the whole little 5 to 10 minute interview into what happened to her, this potential sexual assault. Didn't get a chance to even talk about Gannon or his whereabouts or even what happened to him Sunday and Monday. And she also got she got confirmation that she's not being detained. So even though that the lady is still trying to get her to stay, she's trying to get her to stay, she knows that once they said that, you're not detained and you can leave, she needs to hurry up and get out of there, before some evidence come back while they're sitting there chatting with her. And they be like, you know what? Now you are detained because we have this quote unquote evidence that now we need to go down this path to see if you have more involvement. So she's been studying a little bit. She's been studying and researching how to maneuver and to get out of this, sort of get out of this situation. Worst come to shove, she'll probably get a lawyer. But so far, she's been studying how to move in these interrogation process. She knows not to give her that can. The can is the DNA. That's why she didn't accept them to take her to the hospital for her to get a rape kit, because they will have access to that, right? And they could also have access to her DNA. And since she's not identified as a suspect yet, they're just only questioning her, right? Until they get a warrant or say that she is a suspect, they don't really have the right to, get her information and her DNA and all that stuff like that. They don't have easy access to it yet. So it's crazy. No one's looking at your crusty lips. I like that. Nobody's looking at your crusty lips, B. Joanne said it's looking a little nice for a criminal investigation. Yeah, it is. It is. She be watching crime videos. I think so. Everybody, they love their good old CSI, right? Let's go on. Let's see if she's actually able to get out of here. And do they have to call her back, or are they able to, manipulate her to stay a little longer?
She just said.
Okay, I get that. I get that. Let's just let me double check with her.
She said I could go.
But she finished up the interview.
I
don't know.
Holding me here?
I'm not holding you.
Okay, so can someone walk me out?
You want to leave?
I will clearly answer your questions. I just want to take a break.
As you have just seen, Leticia has had enough. After providing her whimsical story about Eduardo and expressing her remorse for handing Eduardo her entry code, she has now decided that it is time to leave. Before doing so, officers had a couple more things to accomplish. The first was obtaining Leticia's cell phone.
I understand. I just want to get directions.
I get it. And so once again, we're back in the interview room.
Okay.
We're on camera. Mitch Mahalko, lieutenant with the investigation section.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point in time, what we had just discussed outside, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that you decided that you wish to leave and that there's no problem with that. I asked if...
you didn't ask, you took.
Okay, so...
You took.
Understood.
Okay.
So at that point in time, you relinquished the phone to me. I didn't
relinquish the phone. You took it.
Listen, ma'am. I took the phone.
Okay.
And I told you that we would be applying for a search warrant.
Okay, you said applying.
That's correct.
Sir, I'm not going anywhere. I literally just need directions. I mean, I have family numbers in there I don't have.
Understood.
The second was obtaining her DNA from the Coke can that they had previously provided her.
Okay, so you need a colder bottle of water
Or a
Gatorade?
Are you taking my drink too? What in the world?
And the third was to indirectly keep her in custody while their warrant was reviewed. One by one, the officers danced around Leticia and accomplished the first two tasks. But in response to the third task, Leticia quickly started stuffing tissues in her pants and stating that she was having chest pains and shortness of breath. She was immediately rushed to the hospital in an ambulance and didn't respond to any of the paramedics' questions. Once she arrived at the hospital, she, quote, seemed to have a miraculous recovery. During her stay, the warrant for DNA samples was finalized. However, Leticia had no serious health concerns and therefore was released by the hospital. Upon her release, without telling any of the law enforcement present, she slipped out of the building. Technically, she was not yet under arrest, so her avoidance of law enforcement at this time was deemed legal. She was picked up by someone unknown and was later seen meeting with Harley several miles away, leaving her Volkswagen Tiguan to be seized and searched by law enforcement. The investigators now had both Leticia's vehicle and her phone. They decided to focus on her vehicle first. Using the data stored in the Tiguan's onboard GPS, they were able to determine the whereabouts of the vehicle during the January 28th gap that was mentioned earlier. During this gap, the vehicle meandered its way to the neighboring Douglas County. It lingered for about 12 minutes in a rural area around Highway 105 and South Perry Park Road before leaving. After gathering what information they could from her vehicle, they then focused on her cell phone. A peek at Leticia's search history revealed what seemed to be Leticia's true feelings about her role as a stepmother. It was almost as if she used Google as a therapy outlet. Some of her searches before Gannon had gone missing included, I'm overdoing all of the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help. My husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card since I'm raising her kids. Additional Google searches were also found, revealing additional clues. It is believed that these searches were made on January 27th, just before Gannon was reported missing. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? Smoke from fire effects. Will humidifier help? I don't like my stepson. I don't like my stepson. Should I get a divorce? Al Stauch cheating. Al Stauch Instagram. Al Stauch cheating in Colorado Springs. Find me a rich guy who wants someone to take care of his kids. One day, some people will wish they treated you differently. You'll never know when it's too late. Blood is spurting from an arterial bleed. Direct pressure not controlling. How to get blood out of sheet. Can I spray paint blood? El Paso Sheriff's Office phone number. Investigators also uncovered some questionable text messages between Leticia and her daughter Harley at around 5 p.m. also on January 27th. In these
This woman is wicked. This woman is really wicked. So pretty much all you have to do is look at her Google search and you would know how she feels about her son, how she was worried that the father could be cheating on her. She didn't want to be a step parent to his children. She found them a nuisance, especially his son. And now when she said, it kind of like hit me when I seen the question about the arterial bleed, how to stop it and all that stuff like that. So she did something very wicked to that poor little boy. And the funny thing is the sequence of, and I don't know, maybe it's the same sequence how the video essayist is saying it, but if her search history went exactly how he started pointing out things that she was searching on Google, then it went from The boy made a mistake, dropped the thing and burnt the carpet. How to fix it? I hate being a step parent. The mother don't do nothing and I'm doing everything. I hate my stepson. I hurt my stepson. He's bleeding. Can I paint over blood? How do I get rid of blood? If that is the steps, it shows you everything that happened from Sunday to Monday with poor Gannon. Like, and then she did all that craziness, ducking and dodging the police, running out of the hospital without them seeing her, having someone pick her up in some random ass. Like, if y'all don't go get this lady, like, why isn't this lady not on the watch list? Like, why are y'all not actively going to get this woman? This woman have shown you this whole entire time for a month. She have shown you that she is suspicious and that she is involved with Gannon's disappearance, and she knows more than what she's letting on that she knows. Y'all should have been scooped her ass up, been locked her down. Like, she needs to be in an orange jumpsuit ASAP. And I don't, like, at this point, I don't even want to hear what the hell she have to say. Like, throw her fucking ass to the wolf, because I know she did something horrible to that poor baby boy. This is crazy. This girl is cooked. Yeah, she really is. Damn, two damn new cars. Exactly. You know how many trolls are like that woman? I know, right? Candy says, makes me cry thinking about it. I could only cover this case once when it happened. It's so sad to think what Gannon went through. Yes, I agree, Cannon. And you know what's so funny? Because when we heard that initial recording of her where she was scolding him, you can actually hear him whimpering in the background, like he was really sad or he was hurt and stuff. So, you know, I can only imagine what this poor little boy went through and how scared he was and terrified to be around this freaking monster, yo. Now I know why she did it. She got to pay for that. Her soul's in trouble. Man, she needs more than that. Hey, Brucey, how you doing? I hope you're having a good Monday, sir. Good to see you. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, she's evil, wicked, Val. Robert, how you doing, Robin? Good to see you this Monday. I told you we don't do picnics. We don't do picnics over here, Robert. No picnics. Don't try to get me in no picnic. No picnics, okay? How you doing, Robert? It's good to see you. Let's go on.
These messages, Leticia asked Harley to pick up a carpet cleaner, trash bags, and baking soda. In Leticia's notes app on her cell phone, detectives uncovered a note which Leticia stored a series of questions directly related to Gannon's disappearance. In the case involving missing child Gannon Stoke, do you intend on telling the truth? In the case involving your stepson Gannon, did you inflict harm on him in any way? Did you accidentally hurt him in a physical way? Did you murder your stepson? Do you know personally who was involved with your stepson's disappearance? There may have been a connection between these notes and a search that was made on January 29th.
Right.
Leticia Googled fake lie detector result websites, specifically websites that would allow a customer to arrange a private lie detector test and then provide the customer with custom or fake results. The day after the interrogation, Gannon's status was changed from a runaway to an endangered missing child. This change in status allowed the El Paso Sheriff's Office to reach out to the FBI, as well as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, to request assistance in their search efforts. The search that followed was described by Lieutenant John Sarkeesian as the biggest search that anyone I've worked with in over 20 years has been a part of. As the search efforts escalated, Leticia decided to take part in an interview with a local news channel, KKTV, with her back facing the camera.
Oh yeah?
You are.
I let mine grow out right now because it's looking really pretty. I'm gonna wait until maybe in 2 weeks or so, then I might mow it down.
Since the very first
But
time.
I like how it looks right now.
See him. Is that right?
Correct.
What did you see when you last saw him?
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about anything with the case.
I would more so be willing to talk about how the community needs to have faith and continue to work together and not make these false accusations, like the things that have been said that I've disappeared from the community. I haven't been there to help, but there's lots of reasons behind that.
Reasons like death threats, right?
Right. Death threats are one of them. My family's getting lots of death threats. We counted over 20 some death threats already. Two, my husband's ex-wife is living in our home, and of course I'm not coming home to do these things and to help with the family when I was kind of like told I couldn't. And then many other things that happened with the El Paso County Police Department, you know, and in doing the investigation I was told I wasn't complying.
I should try and clarify here, not necessarily crime rates, but the way that people are reacting online to rumors about you with the search.
Oh yes, wow. The rumors have gotten so bad. I pretty much have been told at least 10 different ways that these people have these conspiracy theories. I guess they watch a lot of law shows and maybe they have all these theories on how Gannon is dead, and that's what they're saying. So I'm like, why are you saying Gannon is dead? He is not dead. We are going to find Gannon, and that's the main goal that we all have, my family has. Just because you haven't seen us, we have that same goal, and we've been out searching. My aunt has been out searching. My family has been out searching. We all have been doing that together so that we could protect each other. I'm just ready for Gannon to come home. Most importantly, for him to see his family. But second, I am going to be so ecstatic when I'm able to say to people that I hope they have a really sincere apology for all these theories that have came out online, for all the things they said that I have done or people have done. And I just want everyone to know that we're going to find Gannon, and I love him so much. I've helped taking care of him for so long.
Any message for Gannon?
The message for Gannon I have is, Gannon, when you get here, you'll be able to truly tell what happened. And then I really hope I get a sincere apology from everyone who has made all those things, especially from my husband. We just wanted to add a message to Gannon from my family, is that we love you and miss you, and we hope that you come home soon. And Gannon, I can't wait till you can come home and let everyone know that you're okay. We love you.
Directly following this interview, Leticia rented a 2020 Nissan Altima. Unbeknownst to her, investigators had already placed a GPS tracking device on this vehicle. The tracker indicated that Leticia and Harley first went home to pick up their belongings, and then they headed to a downtown hotel to stay for the night. At approximately 3:30 p.m. the following day, Leticia left the hotel in the Altima. About an hour later, at 4:41 p.m., she drove to the same area that her Volkswagen Tiguan's GPS data had indicated that it had stopped for 12 minutes during the January 28th gap. Leticia stayed in this location for a short period of time and then returned to the hotel around 6 p.m. The two got back in the Altima and proceeded to go on a cross-country road trip to Florida, first checking into a hotel near Pensacola and then stopping by Pace, and then continuing to Orlando. And finally, driving back to their old home state, South Carolina, where they would remain for the following month. While the two continued their mother-daughter vacation, the authorities worked together to exhaust every lead that they had. They did interviews, collected video surveillance, talked to neighbors, and even contacted local trash management companies to track down any evidence or clues that may have been thrown away. Many people promptly provided tips to law enforcement. Not all of these tips were legitimate, but the ones that were led to huge breakthroughs in the search for Gannon. For example, a neighbor that lived next to the Stauch family home had a security camera positioned in a way that was able to capture a moment on January 27th where Leticia can be seen getting into a red pickup truck.
So it seemed like she stashed his body in that area where she keeps going back there with her daughter. She went there with the last rental car, and then now she went there with this new rental car. So it's something in that area that she's going back there that she has to keep on going, getting a check on. I don't know if it's because of smells or whatever, but she keeps going back there. That's where she got that boy's body at. And then again, you're supposed to be going out there looking for him and concerned about him. You're doing these fake freaking interviews, acting like you're concerned. You're more concerned that everybody is pointing the finger at you. Well, you've been very sus the whole entire time since Gannon's been missing. And you're more concerned about your reputation and what things are being said about you than actually finding this boy and finding that this boy is alive. You have no concern. How the hell do you go on a mother and daughter freaking driving trip all the way to Orlando when you have a 11-year-old boy who is your stepson missing? There's no way. There's no way I would be able to do that. Fuck a fucking vacation. My family member, my loved one is missing. I'm going to be out there 24/7 looking for them. I'm going to spend most of my time looking for them than eating and sleeping. It is what it is. So for her to even be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go road trip with my daughter, right? My biological daughter. I'm going to go road trip with her and we're going to go all the way to Orlando and stay at our old family house. It's pissing me off. Robin said, I believe she dropped or lost something there and she's trying to find it so she won't be tied to the murder. Yeah, that's a possibility too, but I really do think that boy's body or remains will be there. I really do believe that. And I hope they go back to that area and investigate, look into the ground, look if there's some type of shed or something. Because this woman is just ridiculous right now. Like, she needs to be under the jail cell. That's how I feel about her. I'm getting a little aggravated and flustered, and I got the sweater on, but I don't want to show my gun, so I gotta keep it, PG-13 on here. But she's getting me pissed off right now. Let's see. Oh, Brucey. My daughter lost her cell and I looked for her for 3 days. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I don't hear from my son, let's say within an hour, I am blowing up his phone. If I don't get him by his phone, I will call and blow his father's phone up. And I will tell your son to call his mother now. I don't play. If I want to hear from you, I'm going to hear from you. I'm going to find out what's going on. So it's beyond me that she doesn't have any care and concern. And it's funny, I was the same way with my son's older brother. When he was younger and me and his father was together, I knew that boy since he was 9 years old. That boy is practically my son too. He's 21 years old now. No matter of fact, I think he's 22 years old now. Anything happened to that boy, I'm flipping the hell out. And he don't have to be my son. I'm flipping the hell out. So it's just crazy the way how she's acting. It's just really, truly disgusting to me. But let's go on.
Truck parked in her driveway at 10:13 a.m. Gannon can then be seen entering the back of the truck before it drives off. At 2:19 p.m., the truck returns to the house, but only Leticia exits. Gannon is nowhere in sight.
Missing for more than a week.
It seemed like he just vanished in midair. It's like he couldn't vanish.
Tonight, a neighbor's surveillance video is bringing new clues to the disappearance of 11-year-old Gannon Stout.
That was the video they needed. That's the break they needed.
And the man who turned it over says it raises some serious questions about who was involved.
She was lying.
Denver 7 News at 5 starts now.
Tonight, that new video could break open the case of a missing 11-year-old in El Paso County.
His stepmother first reported him missing last Monday after she says he went running to a friend's house.
Well, tonight, the neighbor surveillance video is raising questions. He says it shows Gannon's stepmother, Leticia Stock, getting into a truck with Gannon and later returning without him. And the video could change the timeline of events.
Denver 7's Jason Grenauer live down in the Springs tonight. And Jason, investigators are now looking at that video.
Yes, that video was given to investigators here at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office yesterday, the same day that crime scene investigators were back out at the house looking for new evidence. And if that video shows what the neighbor who took it says it does, it could change everything.
That morning when I saw her back the truck up and him get in.
The neighbor of missing 11-year-old Gannon Stout says this security video shows the boy getting into a red pickup with his stepmother on the day of his disappearance.
My Xfinity camera, it picked it up. It picked up the young lady taking him, well, it picked up him getting into the vehicle and her taking him off about 10:16 that morning.
4 hours later,
and then she returned about 2:16 without him.
Gannon was reported missing by his stepmother later that day. A spokesperson for the El Paso County Sheriff's Department tells
Yes,
ABC
that
News
is so
they
true,
do not
Bruce.
dispute the neighbor's description of that video, but wouldn't
Hey,
comment
girl,
further
Dad, how
today.
you
This
doing? I
footage
hope
was
you're having a
submitted to
good
the sheriff's
Monday.
office on February 4th, 2020, the same day that investigators were searching through the Stauch household, looking for new evidence. During several searches of the house, investigators found carpet brushes in the dishwasher, which they suspected had carpet fibers on them, an empty gallon of vinegar, and a 9mm gun that had Leticia's DNA on it. But a major discovery that was somehow missed during the initial January 27th walkthrough was more disturbing than they could have imagined. In Gannon's bedroom, investigators found evidence of blood spatter on the walls and bloodstains on his mattress. Blood had seeped through the carpet and the carpet pad and had stained the concrete below. Traces of Gannon's blood were also found on the garage floor and on the bumper of Leticia's car, despite her efforts to wash it off before her first interview. The body cam footage that you are about to see is from a walkthrough of the house after it had been treated with Blue Star Forensic, a blood enhancement reagent that simplifies the detection of blood traces, revealing bloodstains that have been washed out, wiped off, or are invisible to the naked eye. You will hear commentary from the officer who wore the body cam, providing a clearer understanding of what is being shown.
The room is normally set up so that the blue and red table is generally sitting underneath the window. This bed would be set up, ready to go. The second bed in the room would occupy this voided location, the southwest corner of the room. Of note in Gannon's room is the large stain in the southeast corner of the room. The markings that you see on the wall are marking spatter marks that were denoted by the Metro Crime Lab. Each of these stickers is indicating a blood spatter pattern that was denoted and documented.
It was later determined by experts that the blood patterns indicated that multiple violent acts were likely committed in Gannon's room. Those who knew Gannon's father Al have stated that the security video, along with the blood found in Gannon's bedroom, eliminated any remaining doubts that he had of Leticia's involvement.
So, what it seems that the video that the neighbor caught of Gannon getting in her vehicle, that red truck, but then not coming back with her. But it seemed like she unalived him in the house. So I don't know if that video that the guy gave was in the timeline of him losing his death, because if they drove off somewhere and he didn't come back, like I don't know what time did that happen, or when she picked him up, did she pick him up so they could drive to the house and then she drove back to the area? Like, cause that's kind of weird to me, because all the signs that's happening in the room shows that whatever horrible act happened, it happened inside his bedroom that she tried to clean up. She tried to clean up. She moved everything around. She really thought that she got into everything, but even the blood soaked into the wall. It soaked into the concrete. It soaked into the awning. So this is a very despicable woman. This is a very despicable woman. And to know all that, to know that you did all that and go and then sit up there and have fake cries and tears and everything, and like, I don't understand, like, how would she even think that this man would want to even still be with you? Like, I don't know. Did she ever really process that? Like, what would make this man want to still be with you when you offed his child, not yours, his child, his biological child that he had with someone else? Like you really thought that you was going to go live happily ever after without his son? You lucky if that man don't put you 6 feet under the ground. If you look at this man's face, the only thing that's keeping him from handling you is probably the Lord himself and the law. Okay? Because other than that, it would have been over for you. It would have been a wrap. Bruce says, cast off spatter from swinging a weapon. Yeah, she probably swung a weapon. She probably used a gun, the splatter, all that. Like, that's what I think. Two things happened. She probably used a weapon, some type of knife, something sharp, and she probably shot him as well. Yes, life the car. Yeah, it doesn't add up, but the room was definitely the scene. Yes, I agree. I think that the video gave them enough information for them to go and actually really look at that house and examine it. You know what I'm saying? Get out the whole forensic kit, get out the black lights, the purple lights, everything, and start looking at this house instead of what it is being perceived to look like as a clean, uptidy, nice house. But the whole thing is just disgusting. Yui says she has a staring view. I don't date women with this expression giving me the shivers. Miss Jayla says she didn't want him either. She was looking for a rich man. Remember the time? Yeah, she didn't want him. Yeah, she got fed up. She didn't want him. She wanted someone who had more wealth at one point. Candy said he had to have known the way that she treated him. He chose not to see it. There had to be things before this. That is a possibility. And also he works a lot. Remember, he's in the military. So, he's expecting that the person that he decides that he's going to align and attach his life to is going to do right by his children or the children that they have with each other. It sucks because military folks, we're out. Some of our jobs is 24/7. We're on call for whatever, right? And it's hard when you have a family, because you're really concerned about things like that. Like, you're concerned about the 8 million other things that can possibly go wrong, but you never would think that if any harm would come to your loved ones would come from someone else who is considered your loved one, or you thought. Let's see. I used to be attracted to crazy. Glad I learned my lesson. The whole family picture looks off and not functional. Goddess said, despicable what she did, justice be served swiftly. I agree, Goddess. Candy cane, babe, by experience, they don't treat them bad in front of you and have you questioning your own child, and it's happening. They do that. They definitely do. Candy says that's the family pic. Now, it looks like that was like an interview or something like that, because even the daughter seems kind of down and sad, like they were being interviewed about the whereabouts of that poor boy. Devastating. Yes. Let's go on. But he has the look of, girl, if I get my hands around you.
They also stated that after viewing this footage, Al broke down, crying and saying that Leticia lied about Gannon going to a friend's house. A day later, on February 5th, 2020, Al and Landon released a heart-wrenching video statement, pleading for any information regarding Gannon's disappearance.
How do I describe my G-Man, my Gannon? Gannon's my hero. I love him so much. He's not only my hero, he has multiple people that call him his hero as well. He has so many family members that just look up to him at such a small age. He's full of life. He's happy. He's energetic. He loves sports. He loves Sonic. He loves going outside, playing with his friends, his sister, his neighbor, especially Braden. This neighborhood basically gives you a true example of who my son is. Everybody coming together, all the smiles that people have. This is why I have hope, because I feel it. This is Gannon truly speaking to our community. Gannon he loves blue, he loves Sonic, he's into coding, he loves riding his bicycle with his sister, and I know that he's missing that right now. This week has been awful. It's been more than a roller coaster ride. It's been more than emotional mess. I don't even have answers for my feelings other than I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I will never hear his voice, that I will never hear him run and say, "Mommy," that I'll never hear those corny jokes that he always tells every single day. He has to tell me a joke. He looks forward to telling me something silly. And I'm afraid that I may never see that again or hear it. I don't want to believe that, because that means that I'm giving up hope, and I'm not giving up hope because my son is full of hope. So I'm urging anyone that has any leads, credible leads, if you're too afraid because you know something, a kid just doesn't disappear and no one sees him. It's not how this works. So if you have anything that's credible, if you're afraid, don't worry about it. Imagine my son, how afraid he is. Imagine how afraid Gannon is. So please call, please write. If you need to have someone else to do it for you, please do. Because my son deserves to be here. He deserves to be here.
Another influx of community support came in as a result of this plea, and the investigation went onward. Throughout the weeks of authorities searching for Gannon, they also managed to catch Leticia changing her story multiple times through phone calls with Al. The first change was that this mystery attacker was actually still in the house holding Gannon hostage when the police came to the house to take a runaway report.
The police came. He was in the house.
Where was he at in the house?
I didn't know at the time. I thought they were going to find him because the guy was like, "Can we please search the house?" And I said, "Sure."
Okay.
Terrified, which is why I sent Lena and Harley to Dollar Store and all these places.
Okay. All right. Well, that's huge. That's huge, because now we can look at different camera time frames and all that, and we can look at different angles.
And the second change was even more elaborate. Apparently, this mystery man was actually following Leticia around that evening and managed to get into her truck. She also added that she now had this man's name.
I'll give you his name.
No, he ain't lost.
Give me his name.
That woman unalived him.
This is why I want immunity.
Okay.
This dude, he followed me. The guy followed to Petco, and as I was pulling off to go to the Palmer Lake area, somebody was laying down in the road when I turned around and came back the other way, and this dude gets in the truck with us. I didn't have anything, knives, anything to f anybody off or anything. I had to go like a normal time. Anna was crying in the back seat till he threw up. He threw up. He was so scared. He came with us all the way back to the house. When we get there, he's still in your car at this time. We all get out. The guy was with us the whole time.
Okay.
The whole entire time. I asked him, what did he want? He could take everything he wanted. He could rob us. He could do whatever he fucking wanted. Have it all. There was a struggle. There was everything back and forth. Terrified to say anything because he had the gun. It was just...
This woman is sick. She's crazy. And I don't understand why they don't have her locked up. I don't understand how is she able to change her story 3 freaking times. 1 minute she don't know what's going on. The next minute he's still being locked in the house and the guy is still in the house. And now all of a sudden you didn't know the guy's name. Now you know the guy's name. Like, how is that even possible? Now I know they're leaving her a little rope where she can continue to bury herself and she's not going to be able to get out of it. But even in that, that's frustrating and it's so unfair to the family. That mom, the mom that we just saw talking, that was his actual mom, his real mom. That was the dad and that was the daughter. That's their little family before they divorce. It's not doing them any justice by allowing this woman to, quote unquote, run to Orlando where she used to live at and then call into the station and give 3 different fucking stories. When y'all obviously know that she is involved in his disappearance. Y'all have more than enough evidence that's leading to this woman being involved. But I guess they're allowing her to do it because they want her to eventually give them the location to where Gannon is. But it's still frustrating though. Oh, this lady is like, I don't even believe in harming or hurting people, but this lady makes you just want to wring her neck. Like, just stop already. Just stop. The only one who's really believing yourself is you at this point. Nobody can believe what you're saying. And you think but the puppy dog tears and saying these trigger words, terrified, and he was throwing up, and the guy scared me, and I panicked, and all, you think that that's enough to keep you into this quote unquote victim, this victim mode, that you're the victim. You're not the victim. Gannon is the victim. Gannon can't even tell us what happened to him. Nobody heard from Gannon. You don't know if that boy have ate. We don't know if he's cold, if he's wet, if anything happened to him. Is he tied up? Is he still breathing? We don't know nothing. And we can only assume the worst because it's been weeks going into a month now that this boy been missing. And we all know by watching 48 Hours, that is the crucial hours to try to find missing people. Because if you don't find them within 48 to 72 hours, the probability of you finding them goes very low. Very, very low. It's annoying. It's frustrating me. I'm so upset. Let's go on.
I was terrified. All I could hear was Gannon screaming. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know how bad he hurt Gannon. I don't know. There's no accident where I heard, and there's nothing like that. In the community, because people keep saying that. He hurt. I was tied with my arm.
Okay, well, who is he? Who tied you up? Who did this? You didn't do it. Who did it? Who hurt Gannon? Who has Gannon? Who wants the money? Who hurt you? Quincy Brown. So Quincy Brown is the one who has him.
Just to make things clear, the disappointment heard in Al's voice when Leticia named Quincy Brown wasn't because he was unhappy to finally have a name that could lead him to his son. It was because Quincy Brown was a sex offender and one of the most wanted fugitives in the area. His photo had recently been publicized in local news, and it was more likely that Leticia used this name after seeing it on the TV. At this point, many of Leticia's claims were already proven to be false, and following the leads that she provided repeatedly led to dead ends. So, investigators continued their search near Highway 105/Perry Park Road, where Leticia's Tiguan GPS data specified that Leticia was during the January 28th gap. Eventually, a piece of particle board was found with a blood stain on it. The blood profile later matched Gannon Stauch's DNA. Then, on March 2nd, 2020, Leticia was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and had just dropped off Harley at a recruitment office for an interview. As she pulls away, she is stopped by law enforcement and arrested for probable cause in the murder of Gannon Jacob Stauch. She was escorted back to the police station, where she took part in another interview.
There's nothing that happened at any house that would have hurt, harmed, murdered, done anything to anyone.
Because everything that I've looked at in this case, when you see the blood spatter on the wall, you see a big pool in the corner.
Okay.
You see your shoes that we've collected with Gannon's blood on the bottom of them.
Okay.
And then you point to Eduardo, who doesn't exist, or maybe he did exist, and we don't have a last name. Then you point to Quincy Brown, and then you say Uncle Matt.
She's smirking. I don't think y'all see it, but she's smirking while she's talking to the detective. She thinks this is funny. Her whole body posture shows that she's not going to be forthcoming or tell the truth. That's what it shows. She has her arm crossed. She has her legs crossed. And she's smirking. She's smirking as if she knows what they're going to ask her, and she's well aware of how this interrogation process is going to go. But what she what she don't realize is that the first time they talked to you was an interview, right? It was an interview, and they were giving you the benefit of the doubt that your first story was actually the truth. But now that there's more evidence that leads to you being involved with his disappearance and potentially him being harmed or unalived, this is an interrogation to see if you're going to come clean and confess. Truly, they have everything they need to charge you. But to make sure things stick and not have like a mistrial, or you try to say that you had a quote unquote freak, woo, I went freak and I blacked out, or I saw red, or a rage of passion, and all that stuff like that, or I had a psychiatric moment, where mental illness. They want to make sure that they get on record that you are acknowledging that you know why you're here, you know what questions that we're asking you, you're not being forced, you're not under any forms of influence, and that everything that you say is from your understanding, your truth, and in your belief. They want to make sure they get that on record. So you can't use that, oh, I was under the influence and I was going through a mental issue, and and I can't stand the trial because I have mental problems. I never had mental history ever in my life, but now all of a sudden I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. This lady is wicked, man. I'm really upset, man. If y'all don't see it in my face, I'm sorry. She's just said no accident where I hurt him. Ding, 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 but wasn't a accident. Right, exactly. No accident that you hurt him, but you apparently know that he's hurt, and apparently there was an accident. Let's see. Miss Jalen said that lady is wicked. She is. She definitely is. Threw you off. Now she's in the right room. Yes, she is in the right room. She is. She's so small. Yes, she is. She will go to hell one day. Yeah. Tattoo his name on her forehead. Right. So she can never remember never forget his name, right? I never thought of that. They diagnosed her with her death penalty. Let's go on. But she's smirking. I can't believe that she's sitting up here smirking.
And it's like,
why even say anything? Because everything I say, you're going to tell me that, oh, blah, 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 because you want it just like everyone else. Want it to be me. So that way,
I don't care
that
if
way y'all can just go ahead and be the hero and all these things.
I do not get paid one extra dime if it's you. I don't get paid anything else to find Gannon.
Sir,
it's just our phone.
Not me. I'm not the one. Okay? I am not the one. Not the one.
I do want to help, and whether you did this or not, it doesn't matter to me.
It's
If
okay,
I can't
Ali.
prove a story, whether you tell it to me, Al tells it to me, whether it's El Paso Sheriff's Office, again, I don't take anything as true until I can prove it.
Sir, I'm not taking any chance.
How are you not taking
Because
a chance?
I know the man upstairs knows I did not do anything again.
Well, he's not going to be on the jury.
Okay.
I have 6
All right, we're not going to go there with that.
You believe in that higher power you
Oh,
said?
I do. That's why.
What
You want to
about
know
the
why?
truth? Do
You
you
want to know
study the
why?
truth?
You want to know why I'm not sitting here like going crazy, freaking out, putting on an emotional show like I've seen people involved in this situation put on fake cries and all that? Because I know, God knows, that I did not do anything again.
Okay. Tell me the very last time you laid eyes on him. Where was he? Was he laying down? Was he standing up? Was he sitting? Was he walking to a car? Where was... Give me your very last image of Gannon. That's an easy question. You have to remember your last image of Gannon. Leticia. What was he doing? You know the last time you saw him. What would that hurt to tell me?
For the remainder of the interview, Leticia is essentially shut down, scarcely responding to any further questioning. After speaking with police, Leticia was to be extradited back to Colorado to face trial, but not without a fight. She made national headlines after breaking out of her handcuffs and attacking the officer that was trying to relocate her. Her weapon of choice? An unopened can of Monster energy drink.
Stop. She keeps threatening me. Stop. She keeps on threatening me.
The traveling party stopped in Kansas, where Leticia spent several hours in the Salina.
Hog tie that, excuse my language for my ladies and folks who hate when I curse. Hog tied that bitch, put a gag on her ass. I don't care. Put a fucking spit bag. I don't care. Hog tied that bitch and drag her in a stretcher into the fucking jail because obviously she cannot be trusted. She's doing everything in her powers trying to escape because she know what she did is wrong. She is full-blown demon mode possessed. There is no soul left in this freaking maggot of a bitch. Please just go ahead and just expedite her quick. Like, seriously. Like, it's disgusting at this point. It's really disgusting. Bruce says, most stepmoms are not your friend. I know I have several. They're all... Bruce, that's not true. That's not true. But I do understand that some people have hard times with step-parents. Intelligent officer. Yes. Hi, Arnello. He said, you know they're lying when they don't blink once a whole minute. They're trying to see if you believe them. Also, that smirk is never nervous tell, and she's in a closed posture. Yes, I agree. He put that image back in her head. He did. Prince said, oh my God. Prince, yeah, she's crazy. She's absolutely crazy. Let's see. Miss Jalen said, put her in a room with me, please. I know, right? Facts. Don't let me get to her. Don't put her in a room with me. Don't put her in a room with me. She got demons for sure. Absolutely. Like, this woman is reckless, yo. Like, she's going through a full-blown possession right now. They think that will make the cops think she's a good person. I go to church, look at me, and then put a sawdust in the transmission of the car they're selling. That sometimes happen. She needs an exorcism. Yeah, she does, yeah. Hannibal Lecter as hoe. I like that one. Straight jacket. For real, for real. Like, I'm dead serious. Just hog-tying her at this point. She's wilding out. She's really wilding out right now. Right. What are they waiting for? I have no clue. I have no clue. Is known where her... I don't know, Yui. I don't know. I cannot even tell you. She just went crazy on camera. Right. She's attacking police officers. She broke out of her cuffs and she's attacking and hitting a police officer with a can of soda. She let's see. He said, Onyx said, my ancestors would have eaten her. Ciao. Ugh, it's just crazy, man. Let's go on. Like, this woman is wicked.
Kansas jail, while her escort received medical attention. Upon arriving back in Colorado on March 5th, Al immediately filed for divorce. Leticia ended up pleading not guilty, and while she was awaiting her court proceedings, something was unfolding near the city of Pace, Florida, which was one of her stops during her and Harley's road trip 1 month earlier. The Escambia River is the 4th largest river in Florida, flowing through the Escambia County and eventually into Escambia Bay, which is connected to the Gulf of Mexico. Every 2 years, the Escambia River Bridge is due for inspection, March 17th, 2020 happens to be one of those inspection dates. Two inspectors with the Florida Department of Transportation happen to come across an abandoned suitcase and, out of curiosity, open
Focus
it up.
on the show,
Inside,
not my
wrapped in
food.
blankets, the remains of Gannon Stauch are discovered. An autopsy revealed that Gannon had been shot in the jaw, stabbed in the chest and back, and suffered a skull fracture. He also had defensive wounds covering his arms and legs, and a bullet lodged in his skull. Further examination.
Didn't I tell you? I told you with the spatter from the wall, I told you it was two objects. I said that she had to stab him with something sharp, and she also shot him. That's the splatter of blood when someone is eternally, like the way their artery got cut, or if they are shot. That poor boy suffered so bad. And also, he fought. That's the bad thing about it too. He fought, but she, she's an adult and she overpowered him. Ain't no way. This lady made me so upset. I'm so upset, guys. Let's go on.
Of the bullet traced back to the 9mm gun found in the Stauch residence, the one with Leticia's DNA on it. Leticia continued waiting for her trial, but was showing signs of mental instability, such as paranoia, hallucinations, and so on. Therefore, she was given a mental health evaluation. Despite Leticia suffering severe abuse as a child, which can potentially cause trauma and affect her behavior, she was deemed fit to stand trial. In February of 2022, Leticia and her team made the decision to change her plea to not guilty by reason of insanity, should the judge allow it.
Leticia Stauch, the woman accused of killing her 11-year-old stepson Gannon Stauch, is now pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. Stauch will receive a mental evaluation. The defense also filed a motion to waive a jury trial, which is ultimately Stauch's decision, and the judge reminded her without a jury, he gets the final say whether Stauch is found guilty or not.
The judge allowed for this change without first having the results of a sanity evaluation. Also, despite Leticia's last mental health evaluation determining that she was fit to stand trial. Her court proceedings were delayed throughout the COVID pandemic.
I just don't understand why give this woman the possibility of her not being able to stand trial because of psychiatric problems. Like, no, I'm sorry. That doesn't fly with me. She was strategic the whole entire time. From the beginning of the first interview, she came in with fucking notes. She doused her car, got rid of her car, took her car to some shop where they had to clean it and detail it and all that stuff like that. She made sure the house was spotless as much as possible to the naked eye. She did so much. She is not that psychotic. Yes, she's a demon. Yes, she's a monster. But it's not like she didn't know what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was lying every step of the way. And then when things started getting harder, she couldn't cover up her tracks. They started seeing the blood and started seeing her blood on her car and her vehicle. Things was leading towards her. She started changing her story. That is not someone who had a psychotic breakdown. That is a sociopath, a violent sociopath who is trying to hide her crimes. Why even give her the ability to have that on the freaking table? Like, they just give it to the wrong people. Like, the wrong people. It really annoys me. Hi, Sean. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go on. This lady's crazy.
Pandemic, and the trial was eventually set to begin 3 years later, in April of 2023. The state had over 1,000 pages of discovery, 36 witnesses, and a plethora of video footage, phone calls, and other evidence. It would be a tough legal battle for Leticia's defense team. The goals of both sides were simple. The defense had to convince the jury that Leticia was insane when the crimes were committed, While the state had to convince the jury that Leticia knew the difference between right and wrong and was in sound mind at the time Gannon was murdered. On May 8th of 2023, after a 21-day trial, the jury had reached their verdict.
All rise for the jury, please. Thank you. You may all be seated. With respect to count number 1, charge of murder in the first degree after deliberation, we, the jury, find the defendant Leticia Stalk guilty of count number 1, murder in the first degree after deliberation. With respect to count number 2, charge of murder in the first degree, child under 12 by a person in a position of trust, we, the jury, find the defendant Leticia Stalk guilty of count number 2, murder in the first degree, child under 12, position of trust. With respect to count number 3, charge of tampering with a deceased human body, we, the jury, find the defendant Leticia Stalk guilty of count number 3, tampering with a deceased human body. With respect to count number 4, charge of tampering with physical evidence, we, the jury, find the defendant Leticia Stalk guilty of count number 4, tampering with physical evidence.
Judge Gregory Werner sentenced Leticia Stalk to life without the possibility of parole, with an additional 13.5 years on charges of tampering with evidence and tampering with a dead body. Leticia Stalk was housed at the Denver Women's Correctional Facility until August of 2023. She now resides in an unspecified Kansas prison facility.
I'm sorry, guys. That really ticked me off. I apologize. I had to cool off a little bit, so I'm off camera, but that is despicable. I don't even think life in prison is good enough for this pathetic soul, right? Especially realizing what actually happened and what she actually did to that poor boy. She needs to be on death row, or she needed it to be lined up with a firing squad, or I don't know, maybe even, I don't know, public stone. I don't care. She's just a very despicable human being. And it was disgusting. And just to realize that that boy fought for his life and he couldn't do it because he's not stronger than her. And all for what? All for what? Because you were mad that you signed up for a job that you didn't want to fucking do. Excuse my language, but you didn't want to be a mother. Not even to your own damn kid. You didn't want to be a stepmom. You wanted the lifestyle that you was going to get from being with that man, but you didn't want to be a stepmother and actually be a family unit. And you really thought that it was your right to take away somebody else's child. What they need to do, they want to give her life in prison. Go ahead and give her life in prison and let that boy mom come and visit her every fucking weekend. And she get her ass beat to a fucking pulp every fucking weekend for the rest of her life. I mean, even that will suffice to me. But it's just like the nerve of this lady is, and my heart goes out to that little boy. My heart goes out to that little boy, and it hits home, right? Because like I said, I have a son around that age, and I could not fathom. I could not fathom if something like that happened to my son. Unfortunately, no, I would not say unfortunately. I would say fortunately, my son has a great stepmom. And we are nice. We're cool with each other. She contacts me. She loves my son just like he was her own. And we talk and we cherish and we do things for our son. So he has the best of both worlds. He has 2 moms and he has a great dad. But that is not the case, and that is not fortunate for other people's household. And I understand that. So it's just really, really sad when we see kids suffer from situations like this. It really does hurt me. It really does hurt me, guys. And I apologize. I really do apologize. Make sure you're hitting the like button for me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for rocking out with me as much as you are this Monday afternoon. So I have another case for you guys. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to stay off camera for a little bit because I'm a little flustered. And when I'm a little flustered, I get a little teary-eyed because I want to fucking break shit or pop somebody in their face. So y'all just going to have to bear with me a little bit. I'll be back on camera. But the next case that I have for you is about a wannabe gangster. He literally tells on himself in cause of an incident. And I guess this incident took someone's life. So I wanted to review this with you guys. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, let me share my screen and here we go.
Back in 2016, Corey Borwick, Carlton Lamar, and Aisha McGaster were all arrested for kidnapping with a weapon, carjacking, robbery, and aggravated battery. All three suspects assaulted a victim, then forced him to get into his own vehicle so they could go to his place of employment and get some more money. While they were driving, the victim jumped out of the moving vehicle and ran to a nearby patrol car. The victim described his attackers, and soon the police had all three suspects in custody.
Hi, Miss
Detectives
Bunty.
decide to
How
start
are
with
you?
Aisha while they wait for the victim to return from the hospital.
All right, Aisha. You good on your water? Okay. I know you're tired. I want you to wake up just a little bit for me so we can try to get through all this, okay? You do that for me? Well, I didn't really introduce myself yet. I know I got your numbers and all that, and name and everything, but I didn't introduce myself. My name's Investigator Kevin Stimmel, okay? Obviously, you haven't figured out yet. You're at the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. I'm an investigator with Escambia County. I guess there was an incident last night, and it's led us to here, so I'd like to talk with you about this incident, but before we get started, I'll read you some things, okay? And then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so you understood all those rights, right? Okay. Obviously, it's been a long night. You're tired. Y'all have had it's probably just been chaotic through the night, which is what led up to law enforcement being involved. And I really want to understand what led to all this, because I don't believe it was just random or anything like that. I think that there were some events that probably led up to this, and that you probably shine a little light on the whole thing for me so that I understand, okay? Are you willing to explain all that to me so that I can understand what all occurred?
I mean, can I get out of the way?
If you're requesting a lawyer, are you requesting a lawyer? Because you can do that. There's just different sides to the story, and I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to tell me their side of the story before somebody else tells me their side. That's all. But if you're requesting a lawyer, you can't have a lawyer.
Okay.
You're requesting a lawyer? Okay. Alrighty, hang tight.
Because Aisha requested a lawyer, the detective decides to move on to Corey.
Alright, buddy, how you water?
Hey, look at that. We had our first person who went and got a lawyer and didn't speak. Yay! Shout out to the smart people. Woohoo! All right, let's go on.
Or anything?
I'm good.
Sure. All right, man. I just want to give you the opportunity. I had to get my coffee, man. It's early.
Yeah, coffee sounds good.
I hear you, man. I had to get a cup on the way in. Can I call you Corey, or you want me to call you Mr. Bowie?
Nah, Corey.
All right, Corey.
All right. Hey,
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to ask someone, like, okay.
Sure, come on, what's
we're
up?
being detained.
Yeah.
But nobody told us what for.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm an investigator with the sheriff's office. We're going to get to all that.
Like, he just mentioned something saying somebody got hurt.
Okay. And that's what I want to get to, but we got to follow some steps to get there so we can talk about it, okay?
Okay.
So, based on...
Make sure I remember that.
No, yeah. I totally understand that.
I'll tell you
So,
attention to detail.
I got you, man. Well, write my name on here.
You know you like that handwriting.
Yeah.
Nice handwriting, man. I got crappy handwriting. All right, buddy. You understand all your rights. I'd like to know what happened last night, and I'd like to get your side of everything, because there's always 3 sides, 4 sides, as many sides as involve a story. As far as I can tell already, there's 4 people involved in this at least, and who knows as the day goes on how many people else will come forward and say, yes, I actually knew some knowledge of this, or had some knowledge of this. So, I don't want to ask you questions right now. I want you to tell me what led you to being in police custody tonight. What all started that led you to being in police custody?
Well, we was on the way coming back home, and they just pulled us over. It started with 2 of them following us.
Okay.
And then one was parked off in the side in the parking lot. They just all put us over.
Okay. Where was y'all coming home from?
No, we live in Foley. We was going back home. I just wanted to go home, take a shower, get these clothes, and get
I bet, man. So, what happens when you get little man? What happens then?
As soon as we crossing, Fairfield is the long road.
Well, yeah. See, I know where y'all were stopped at. Y'all were stopped at Fairfield by the Home Depot. That's where they stopped at.
Right,
were y'all traveling? Were y'all traveling back westbound when they stopped you?
I'm guessing.
Yeah, the car was facing that way.
Yeah, coming.
So the house that y'all went to had to be
further back.
Further back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like one pulled behind us, and another one pulled behind us, and you know where the road splits. I don't know what highway that is, but you can go straight, curve out to the left. One was sitting on the right in the parking lot. So they just all stopped us once we crossed the light.
And why do you think that? I mean, that's not routine procedure for law enforcement. Why do you think 3 law enforcement officers, deputy sheriffs, would be following behind this vehicle and then stopping this vehicle?
Coincidence, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure
Coincidence?
it out. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, tell me more about people you were with tonight.
My girlfriend and just my friend.
What's your friend's name?
Carlton Lamar.
Carlton Lamar?
A good friend of mine. Went to school with him.
The detective is about to try and bluff Corey by telling him he has already spoken with Aisha and Carlton. He is hoping that Corey will think the other 2 have already confessed to everything.
So we've already talked to Carlton a little bit.
Yeah, he's supposed to be staying the night with me. He was just down for the ride. Not going to leave him at our house by himself.
Well, that's this thing. We've already talked to Carlton a lot, and I've been talking to Aisha, and her stories ain't really jiving with yours, man. So I really need you to be honest with me, Corey, because I already know you're not being totally honest, but I'm trying to work with you, okay? Because the fact of the matter is that some serious crimes occurred tonight that y'all were involved in.
Not internet ready.
Heard faintly about
Okay, right. And at this point in time now, you're kind of in it. And the only thing you can do right now is help yourself. Because I don't know how many of these cases I've worked where everybody beforehand says...
So in these type of situations that is dealing with multiple people that's involved, the best thing that y'all can do if y'all gonna have any conversation, and like again, I prefer you not to do any crimes, okay? Don't do crimes, right? But if you're in a situation where it looks like you might be involved in a crime, if you're gonna have any conversation before y'all get scooped up, the only conversation y'all should have is ask for a freaking lawyer and keep your mouth closed. And that only works if y'all all is down for doing that, right? Y'all all have to be on accord that none of you are going to talk and y'all going to speak to the lawyer. If one of you break ranks, the whole fucking shit goes down. Because it is going to be a tactic. Yes, they're going to tell you that they spoke to A, B, C, and D. And they're going to make it seem like those people probably had told them information that is leading to make it harder for you to defend yourself or to tell your truth, right? That is all tactic. Now, we don't know if it's true. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's not true. Sometimes it's just a bluff. But if you get to the point where the heat is on and you get anxiety and now you start letting everything out, everything goes out the window. Because now they can go with the information that you said back to those people, and let's say they didn't give any information. But now they could be like, oh no, but you know what? Homeboy over here, he snitched. He said it was you, do. And he said this is where the weapon's at, and this happened in this location. And now y'all are going to be placed amongst each other, right? because then you're going to get into your self-preservation mode and you're going to go against each other. So like I'm not saying don't do the crime, right? But if you do happen to find yourself in that situation and it's more than one person, like yourself, you have to be on all accord, and the only thing that y'all all should be agreeing on is that we are not talking, we are all getting lawyers. That is all. Just a little what did you call it? What do you call it? A public announcement? Yeah. A little PSA. Let's go on.
I ain't no snitch. I ain't never gonna be no snitch. Blah 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 blah. People start talking about getting life, fed time life, day for day. I don't nobody care about nobody but themselves. Yeah. I mean, that's real life. Everybody says that until the time.
Because I watch First 48.
Yeah, so you know, yeah.
First 48 snitches.
Everybody snitches when it comes down to the fact that they're looking at the rest of their life, or maybe even heavier sentence.
I mean,
you know?
is it serious? Whatever.
Very, very, very serious. Very serious. And I mean, I know that you totally know what's going on.
I'm trying to figure out.
Because you were picked out.
That is correct.
By a victim.
I mean, I was asking the officer what was going on, but he just really wouldn't tell me.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna do some more research. I'll be right back with you in a second, Corey. I'm gonna give you some chance to think, talk about with other people I'm talking to too.
I'm going to sleep.
That's fine, but you need to think about. Well, you do, because you got some victims that have picked you out in a crime that I really want you to tell me the truth about. But I'm gonna give you a second to think about it and think about your life and where it's going if you continue to not tell me the whole truth.
It's going on the right track.
All right, man. Hang tight, man. We'll be back with you and talk to some other people.
All right.
Corey does his best to appear calm, most likely because he thinks it will make him appear innocent. The problem is, an innocent person would not be calm if they were just arrested for something they didn't do. Imagine if you, an innocent person, was just arrested and told the crime you were being charged with could be a life sentence. How would you react?
You gotta be like Mark a little bit.
Well, I'm not gonna keep you anything until you start giving me stuff, because I've already got a victim that has identified you, your buddy, Carlton.
You have to also take into consideration that tactic is not only just to make him perceive innocent, it's also anxiety. When you're in high level of stress and anxiety in these situations, the people tend to get very tired. They start to yawn. They start to get very sleepy. Those are signs of stress and anxiety. Also, you can take into consideration the environment of the room. If they have the AC blowing or if it's super hot, those things also play a part as well. But let's go on. Let's see if he starts to, open up a little bit, since he gave him a couple of minutes to see if he is going to be willing to tell him more details.
And said that y'all are the suspects in the crime that have been committed.
But, like...
Exactly, Flower.
What?
Well, I'll tell you how this works. It's a give and take. When you start giving me the truth about what occurred tonight that I know occurred, I know due to facts and evidence that this occurred. And I know you were there, and I know you were a willing participant in it. When you start giving me some of the truth about that, I'll start giving you the truth about what all the charges are going to end up being and all that. It's a give and take, man.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to come in here and sit here and show you my deck cards straight up like you, obviously like you're not, because you're not telling me the whole truth about anything that happened, okay? And what I want you to think about is all of this started in Alabama. We know it started in Alabama, and it all came across state lines. So more than likely here in the next few hours, the FBI and the feds are going to be involved in this too. Right now, to the local level, it's probably going to go federal. You're probably going to be looking at some federal time. Yeah.
Is that serious?
It's very serious.
Damn.
Yes. It's very serious.
That's wild.
And I know you know what I'm talking about. And it's all the fact of the matter now is really if you want to help yourself, or if you're just willing to be that guy that says, hey, I want to go to prison for life or for a long time for somebody else.
I'm not going to prison.
I promise you are, if you don't help yourself on this. I promise you. And that's the only reason we're in here right now. Is everybody else going to try to help themselves.
Yeah.
It's whether you want to help yourself out or not.
I'm going to help myself regardless.
Okay. Well, how are you planning on helping yourself today? Because you're not helping yourself at all yet.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Okay. I really don't. I don't know.
Okay. Have you come to any conclusion on what you think this is all about?
How
Or are
are
you still
you?
just totally
Have a great day.
just blind at what's
I'm
going
trying
on?
to put. I'm trying to figure it out. But
Okay, keep thinking, man. I mean,
Hi,
why we would
Nomadic.
have
How are you?
Aisha, Carlton, and you all here at the same time. So, what other cars were y'all in tonight? Not another car earlier?
Dodge Avenger.
Dodge Avenger. What other cars?
That's her car.
That's her. What other car were y'all in earlier?
Just a Dodge Avenger.
Is that car registered to her?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we seized that car because it was used in the crime, and we're getting a search warrant
Yeah,
for
it
that
just
car.
sit in for him
Search
to
the
look
car.
at now. You notice how he's sitting up.
What
More.
is going to be in that car that we need to know about?
Nothing really.
Guns?
A BB gun.
BB gun? What was the BB gun in the car for?
In the car always.
You always keep a BB gun in the car?
It's just a BB gun.
I mean, I have a car, but I have a couple cars, but I don't ride around with BB guns in the car. What's the reason for the BB gun in the car?
Hold on, guys. I know this is off topic, and I'm sure that you cannot even see it. What are those? What fucking type of shoe do he got on? Do he got on cowboy boots or rain boots? What is that? Why he have on ankle boots like he's a girl? Why he got those on? Like, what's going on here? I'm sorry. That just drove me out of my mind real quick. I was like, what are those? What do he got on his feet? I'm sorry. It's all topic. Let's go on. My bad.
Car.
Oh, no reason at all. Just anybody try to press us, use that to get them off.
Okay.
But,
I mean, is that a normal occurrence? Are y'all getting pressed a lot?
No, but if so, I mean, I'm hoping that would work.
I hear you.
If not,
Where in the car do y'all normally keep the BB gun?
Either just in the middle glove. I mean, not, yeah. I guess.
The console?
Yeah.
Like underneath where your arm sits, you lift it up?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a BB gun.
I hear you.
Realizing he isn't going to get any information out of Corey, the detective leaves the room. A little while later, another detective comes in to try his luck with the suspect.
So you're aware that we got a guy that's been kidnapped, right?
Okay.
God damn. They tell you that?
No, they didn't.
They didn't? All right. You got a guy that's been kidnapped. All right.
I'm listening, bro.
So, in his own vehicle, he gets over to your lady's house.
I wanted to know what
Right.
for.
And then he gets kidnapped by you and Carlton.
Hey, handsome.
And then he gets put in the back of his own car as y'all drive the car. All right?
That's some shit right there.
It is. It is. So, you know, the lucky thing for him is that the trunk has a trunk release, and he can pull the trunk release, and he bails out of the car, and he runs up to a cop. And the cop, he tells the cop what happened, and then they get behind the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then this is how it all starts, because your old lady comes and picks y'all up at the Firestone there on Pace Boulevard right up here.
Firestone?
A little tire store, whatever it is.
Oh, that's where he was at.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So, does that sound familiar at all? Corey, let me put it to you blunt. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a dick to you, son.
You just doing your job.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not mad at you.
I am just doing my job, but the playing stupid part ain't gonna cut it.
The detective spends the next few minutes explaining that if Corey doesn't confess, his girlfriend Aisha is looking at some serious time. Corey knew he was screwed from the beginning because the victim knew Aisha personally, so he needed a way to justify his actions.
Okay, Miss J.
Corey suddenly realizes that if he can make himself look like the hero, maybe he can minimize his punishment.
You know what? Fuck it. Alright. He's her mom ex-boyfriend.
He is her mom's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, he's like
okay?
35 years old.
Okay.
He supposedly looked at her like a stepdaughter.
Okay.
Alright. He was in town, apparently. And so she like, why not see him? You know, he was with my mom or whatnot. Apparently, he act like I'm not making this up. All right. Apparently, he actually tried to rape her.
Okay.
While little man was there.
When?
I guess this happened yesterday.
Okay.
And so didn't accomplish that, but like she had on some type of top with a long dress.
Okay.
And so he actually got the chance to kind of like hold her down and like actually like oral on her for a split second until little man came in the living room and like I guess he saved her.
And how old's the kid?
He's 5.
Okay.
And there was no bad intentions, honestly. I wasn't going. No, not.
Well, if there's bad intentions on his part, though.
Yeah, that was bad intentions on his part, but you don't do nothing like that.
Hey, I agree.
You don't do nothing like that to my old lady.
Well, let's back up just a minute. This guy here, all right, Aaron Stovall, used to date your old lady's mama.
Yeah. And
were they married or anything, or just dated?
No.
For how long?
They just dated. I don't know.
When did that end?
I have no clue. Me and her been together like 4 or 5 months.
Okay, so but in the last 4 or 5 months, you don't really know this Aaron Stovall till recently?
Yeah.
Or just by talking?
Just by that. But yeah, she come to me crying about everything that happened, so I just took matters into my own hands. I had no way of proving that he done this to her.
All right. Well, one, I appreciate your honesty. Because, I mean, I can understand as a man,
and me being
that's what I'd want to do.
You don't mess with a man's family, his old lady. And so, yeah, nothing on them. It was all me. I had no intentions on killing this dude at all. I'm not a killer. I just want to teach him a lesson. You don't do no shit like that.
Okay, so here's the thing. So apparently he kidnapped this guy and ended up unaliving this guy. And now he's trying to make himself seem like he's the hero because he did it because this guy tried to sexually assault his ex-girlfriend's mom in front of their 5-year-old child. So he looks at them as family and he wanted to do it like, saving the family's honor or something, teach this guy a lesson. And even in that, I understand. But the point is, if that's the case, why not get the police involved? Why not have him arrested, right? He could have had, I guess, better consequences. I mean, than him losing his life, because now you took matters into your own hand. And that's what the detective is going to look at it. Okay, I understand why you did it. But the point why you did it is not like he was an immediate threat to your family at that time. So when you took his life, he was the victim and you was the aggressor. Even if the whole story is heroic in your mind, that you was standing up and you was protecting your family, it wasn't protection when you kidnapped the man and you did whatever you did to him, right? And this is what he's not going to understand. Like, even if you try to play it up as you being heroic and you doing a manly thing and stuff like that, you still took matter into your own hands and you took someone's life. And there's laws and there's consequences for taking people's lives, right? When you take the law into your own hands. He doesn't understand it, but he's going to get it. Even in that doesn't even look good for him. If anything, I think that he should have just remained quiet. Like I said, all of them should have just remained quiet and gotten a lawyer. But since they harped on him that if he didn't start saying something, he was going to go to jail, pretty much life in prison. So now he's doing what he thinks is the right thing to do, really. Let's see. Menacing One says, all y'all be snitching, especially those who say they don't snitch. Well, hey, snitches get stitches. Yeah. Sean says, that don't sound right. Held her down and gave, it's a lot that he was saying that was kind of weird. I hate when men call their wives a girlfriend, old lady. I think that's just like a area thing. I mean, I know like back in the old day they used to say it, but now it's just like a certain area they still use it. My old lady is my mom. Candy says, I'm not that fond of it either. So many So many better names out there, right? Elizabeth said, I think he wanted to give him, you know what. Medicine One says, oh, this is a Black woman's crime channel. I'm so please show the beauty of your mind and don't. Nobody's dogging Black men, but good to see you. I thought dude was alive. Did I miss something? No, I don't think he's alive. Hey, Keenan, how are you doing? Let's see. Olu. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but I'm just going to say Olu. How you doing? By snitching, do you mean not lying? Right. Let's see. Okay. Let's go on. Oh, Adonis. It is a Southern thing, right? That's what I was figuring. It's a Southern thing.
Especially to my folks. I'm a good person. I don't bother nobody, but when you f with mine, I'm capable of some shit.
That's understandable.
And so I took matters into my own hands, made him apologize to her, and it's not. I guess technically, yeah, I would call it kidnapping.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna take him to his folks and make him tell his wife or.
So he's remarried now and shit?
I don't know exactly.
Oh, no wonder you hate
on, but I was
that,
gonna make him explain to his folks what the hell was going on and why the hell I did this to him.
All right, well, let's back up a little bit so I can understand this picture a little better.
And try to get it on video so that way I can proceed to go from there.
Sure.
So I got my proof that he did do this. I don't know.
Did you get it on video?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Is it on your phone?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Is your phone in the car?
No, it's not.
Did you leave it at her house?
Yeah,
okay. So
all right. Well, let's back up a minute. What makes him want to come to her house last night?
What makes him?
Yeah. Well, I understand. Probably because he thinks he's going to get some ass.
Yeah. He thought he was going to.
Oh, because whatever he did the day before. All right. Did she tell him to stop? Did she tell him to quit?
She told him to stop. That's when I took her down phone.
And you saw some text between them or something?
No, I mean, not really that, but like she played it cool, was just gonna let it go. She really wasn't gonna tell me.
So if you made it to the police, then
so
that
you
means
pressed
he's
her.
alive. So that's a good thing. If he's alive, that's
pretty
great.
much, yeah.
Now, but
So
there's had to have been some reason you knew he was there. I mean, how'd you find out?
I lived there.
Yeah, but how'd you find out he had come over?
Oh, because when she picked me up from lunch break, she just broke down and started crying. I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And she she trembling and shaking and stuff, but she really didn't want to tell me because little man was in the car. She didn't want to know all of that, but God knows what all he's seen. But I guess he walked in at the right time.
Now, is this the first time this has occurred?
Yeah.
Between him and her?
Yeah. Apparently, he was supposed to be looking at her as a stepdaughter.
But I mean, help me understand this. How does this come about? All about the blue? You know, at one time he was dating her mom, and he's out of the picture. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, he's back.
Because he said, hey, I'm in town, apparently. And her mom's out of town.
Does he have your lady's number or something for her phone number?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So he called and said, I'm in town?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I took matters in my own damn hands. And I wanted to get proof that he actually did try to do that to her. And so I could turn it in my damn self.
All right.
And whatever charges come with me doing that, I'll take it.
So then, once you found out yesterday, did you tell her, hey, let's tell him to come over to the house?
I did that on my own.
But that's what you said, tell him to come over to the house?
Yeah.
And then once he got over to the house, were y'all hiding or what?
He was talking to me the whole time. He thought he was talking to her.
Are you talking about on text?
Yeah.
Okay. You had her phone and text?
Yeah.
All right, let's move forward then. Tell me, when he shows up at the house, what happens?
I rushed his ass.
At the front door?
No, I let him get inside.
Okay.
No,
Did she open the door?
Put that image down, Brucey.
And then you rushed his ass and then y'all fight?
It really wasn't a fight. With that much stuff with that going on, that type of situation, I got so much anger up inside me, man. I gave him no chance.
All right.
Questioned him a little bit. Try to figure out what the hell was going on. Make sure he apologized to her.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Felt good after that, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
I try to do that to my old lady. I don't play. I don't play. I fight for my family, bro.
Sure. I have children in a family. I understand.
I got 2 kids of my own. Hey, sorry for the mix-up, but
no, it is what it is. All right. Well, what's Carlton doing while this is going on?
He just happened to be there.
So he's just bad luck.
He just happened to be there, bro.
All right. So after you rush this guy, make him apologize and all this stuff, then what? Then what happens?
Planning on taking him to his folks.
So y'all throw him in the trunk?
He was never in the trunk.
He was never in the trunk?
No.
Why does he say he was in the trunk?
He was in the back seat.
He was in the back seat?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in the back seat and he jumped out the car.
While it was running?
Yeah.
Oh, somewhere going down Fairfield?
Yeah. Right by the churches.
Okay. All right. But now while this is going on, y'all talking a little shit to him, scaring him, say, hey, we fixing to bury your ass, we fixing to fucking kill you, all that bullshit.
For that, I guess the fact of me telling him that I'm going to take him to his family and let them know what type of fucking person he is, that scared the living shit out of him. And so he jumped out the car and thank God he ran into a police and flipped the story around, make it seem like, I know it looks worse around my end, but hey, he do that to my lady.
And that's...
You do that to my old lady, that's what happens.
That's understandable.
I bet he won't do it again.
He probably won't.
I mean, I would never harm nobody on purpose just because, man, but you said that it seemed like I was showing no remorse. You right, I have no remorse for him because of what he did to the people I with.
Let me ask you this, how fast were y'all going when he bailed out?
Normal speed, the speed limit.
30, 40 miles an hour, whatever?
Well, you know, everybody wear
Let me ask you another question.
Yui. I was just
wondering
what
I'm trying to understand this. When this happened yesterday and it got you all riled up and you found out about it, why didn't your lady call the police to have him arrested?
Because we didn't know who he was. So
it don't matter though. You still knew who he was. You may not have known.
I wanted to have enough evidence and have him saying it on video. And then, like, I made sure I got, a copy of where he stayed at so I could be able to give up that info. So I had all my ducks in a row trying to do this the right way.
Do you think you got it on video?
So I'm at this point, I'm trying to figure this guy out. Cause now it just seemed that the way how he's telling on himself, I just think that he's trying to take the whole heat. He doesn't want nobody involved. He doesn't want the girl involved. He doesn't want Carlton involved. He doesn't want the girl mother involved. He just seemed like he's gonna take the whole heat for everyone. Because the amount of information and everything that he's giving is quite different than what he was doing about 30, 45 minutes ago. With the yawning and acting like he was going to sleep and he wasn't really going to say anything. And now it's just like he took this heroic stage and he's just like, I'm just going to take it all. I'm going to take it all on my shoulders. It is what it is. I'm trying to figure out if he's doing this strategically or is he doing it because he's a freaking idiot. But I don't think he's an idiot. My feeling and my gut feeling is he just decides that he's going to take it all. And if anything, I mean, that's still not going to stop his girlfriend from getting some form of charge since they premeditate to lure the guy over there. So that could happen. She's going to get something, but I think that he's trying to take the brunt of whatever's coming down the pipeline. Let's go on.
I don't know. But it was a lot of commotion. So like, I think my phone may be broke. I hope not. I just got it.
Gotcha. What kind of phone is it?
AT&T Asus Zen phone.
Okay, so it's a Droid or whatever.
Yeah, Android.
I got you. And you think it's over at her house still?
Maybe.
You didn't take it with you because all the bullshit was going down so fast?
I wasn't thinking straight. I was just trying to go.
I got you.
Tell me where to go. Where's your house at? We finna go to your family. You finna let me know what the hell you did and why I did this to you.
Now he lives over here in Pensacola?
Yeah.
Somewhere. What's he do for a living?
I guess he's a truck driver.
Like an 18-wheeler or some shit? All right. I mean, like I said,
I'm telling you,
yeah, I agree, Melanie.
I've been telling you.
Well, it's understandable, and I can understand what you say.
It sounds like some shit in the movie, but
because I can only imagine how mad I'd be if I was in that situation.
You mess with my family, man. It's bad for you. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me, but yeah, I just had to expose him for who he really was.
Gotcha.
So whatever time that y'all plan on giving me, man, I'll just...
Is there anything else that we're missing that could help your case?
Honestly, that's pretty much everything.
I mean, honestly, if you got that on tape, that'll help you.
I mean, I told everything that what was going on. And if you could get him to confess why I did this to him,
we're going to talk to him.
As a matter of fact, I want to talk to him face to face.
Nah, that won't be good. Can't do that. You'll have a chance
from
to
a
do
distance, but
you'll have a chance to. Is there anything else?
That's all, honestly.
I'm thinking that too, Sean.
I'm not sure if she really wanted me to tell you all of this, but hey.
I'm sure she didn't, but I mean, there comes a point in time where if you're man enough to do it, you gotta be man enough to own up to it.
I am.
You know what I'm saying? So
I really am.
Hang tight, Corey. You need anything besides some shitty coffee?
Yeah, it is shitty, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm good.
It ain't Krispy Kreme coffee.
I should have just drunk this straight.
It's good to see you.
The detective leaves the room, then comes back after 15 minutes. He has a couple more questions, but since he already has the confession, he approaches it in a more relaxed manner. His suspect, Corey, also seems more relaxed now that he has confessed.
What's up, babe?
I was listening to y'all. I was like, yeah, I might as well join in on the conversation.
Yeah,
I can hear everything y'all saying.
Yeah, walls are thin.
It's like I heard somebody say, well, he said he's not a killer. And I'm just sitting here laughing like, yeah, I'm really not.
What about, did you throw some hot water in the old boy's face?
You damn right I did. I will admit that.
I love it. Was it boiling?
You damn right. With salt and vinegar in it.
Oh, really?
You damn right.
Damn.
I have no remorse for motherfuckers who mess with my family like that.
No, he's gone.
Nice.
Eating.
No remorse. I don't feel bad at all. I'm a man. I accept the charges. Hey, I feel better that I caught him and he know not to do that again.
Well, the question would be is how many times have he done something like that before?
Exactly, but he know not to mess with mine.
Yes, Olu.
That's how I feel about it. And I was actually gonna let him. I was really gonna let him go.
Well, I wish your old lady, when she told you about it, y'all would have called the police then and there.
Yeah, but he was already
sexual battery charge.
Yeah, but he was like already long gone.
So is he lives in Pensacola, dude. It's one county.
Had to find the address on him though. So that's
we the police.
True, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't thinking about that. I'm from the hood. Retaliation is a must.
No, I understand.
I'm from New York. We don't play. We do this shit for real up there, man. Like for real.
What about you scare him with that little BB gun?
You damn right.
I feel you.
Damn
well,
right.
we trying to talk to Foley over there.
Why? Why he had to be from New York, man? Oh, God. Oh, Lord. My head just hurt. Oh, boy. Let's go on.
There, because they're, that small town police over there. It's like talking. They're like,
Compared to where I'm from,
what's
oh my God.
what's going on?
I was 14 when I moved down here, and I was like, man, what the hell is a Foley? Never heard of it a day in my life.
What part of New York did you come from?
I'm from Rochester.
Rochester.
Murder capital of New York State.
Yeah.
Not happy about it. I'm not bragging on my city, but I grew up in a rough place. And it made me what I am today. Don't take shit.
You are bragging, sir. You are bragging. And I know about Rochester. You are bragging, sir. Like, that's nothing to brag about. That's why I don't live there. Jesus Christ, dude.
Shit from nobody.
That's right.
I kind of got a fucked up mentality. It was made stupid on my behalf, but I feel better knowing that because I'm hands-on, man. You do some shit like that to my family, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
The rest of your family live down here? They still up there in New York?
I got family up there, but it's just my mom, my auntie, and my cousins. It's just that, man, when it comes to the ones that I love, man, I go gusto, and I don't think, I really don't, man. Apologize for this shit.
Hell, it is what it is.
Sorry, not sorry. So
it is what it is.
If you was to ask me right now, do I feel bad about it? No. I'm gonna take my charges like a man. He deserve it. I don't feel bad for my like him. I want to try to get him to admit to what he did.
Well, hopefully you got that shit on your phone.
Man, I'm hoping. Did
you have it going when he come in the door?
No. I beat his ass first.
I got you.
I beat his ass first.
I got you.
Choke this bitch ass out.
All right. Hang tight, man, Corey.
Oh my God. Shut the hell up. You stupid little man. Shut up. You are so dumb. You just telling everything. Now you singing like a whole canary because your ego is stroked. And you think that everything you saying is making you look tough and big and bad. You are going to be, excuse my language, you're going to be bitch made when you go to prison, okay? All that whole I'm tough and all that stuff is going to go right out the damn window when you hit Gen Pop. You silly little man. Like, shut up. And then you going to just admit, oh, you did, when he came in, you just stalled on him. Like, you're going to admit that you just attacked this man. You didn't even question him. You didn't ask him if he did what the woman said that he did. You just went straight attacked him, and you also said that you premeditated because you got the girl to call the guy over there. Like, shut the fuck up. Damn. No, I'm not claiming you. You're not no New Yorker, bruh. I don't know where the hell you at. Wherever you at, that's where you at. You ain't a New Yorker. We don't claim you acting dumb like that.
Man, quick question. Is there any way that I'm gonna be able to go home today?
I mean, honestly, you're gonna have a bond. I mean, your bond's probably gonna be pretty high. I mean, minimum, I'm gonna say probably gonna be 50 grand, which is 5,000, to a bondsman. So that's just what our bond schedule is based upon the charge.
But
you know what I'm saying?
What about like crime of passion?
Well, you'll go to first appearance in the morning. The judge can muller it then.
Getting him to admit to it and explaining my side.
Well, that's what we're trying to follow up on what you said, so it gives you.
It's all true, man.
Credence to what you're saying. Bring
me a Bible right now. I don't play with Jesus, bro. I'll put my hand on it.
Hang tight, cool. All right.
With the confession out of the way, the detective leaves to file the paperwork. Meanwhile, the victim is sitting in the other room, calling friends and family to tell them what he had just gone through.
Yeah, I go there because my friend went and borrowed $40. Well, I walk in there, they throw hot water in my face, burst all my face off, my arm off, and just start. Yeah, and they set me up, bro, and was just beating me to death, bro, and they're trying to choke me and kill me, bro, with a pistol, hit me upside the head with a pistol and everything. Bro, I'm fucked up. I'm shitty. I was fighting for my life, bro. Look, bro, this is how dumb they is, though. Bro, they wanted to rob me, right? They wanted to get my money. So, I'm like, I can't swap my card. Like, it's the only way you can do it is either keep torturing you. Right here, like, the chick was following the guys. It was 2 dudes, bro. They was in ski masks. They caught him, though. Yeah, I'm about to tell you that part. Bro, drove me down here, bro. So they tried to take me back. So I took them the long route down Fairfield, off of 98 down Fairfield and shit. Bro, they had everything, bro. My wallet, everything. Like, everything. They done took everything out of my trunk, bro. Robbed me, bro. Clean. Bro.
So this is the guy that they robbed. So here's the thing. This is why Corey needed to shut the hell up, right? Because obviously, thank God, the guy is still alive. However, they did try to kill him. They boiled half his face off with boiling water. They tried to rob him. They beat him down to a pulp. And he's telling it right now to whoever he's speaking to. And Corey's sitting up there talking about, yeah, man, I did this before, I did this, you mess with my old girl, this is what you get, blah, 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 blah. So if that was the case, then why are you trying to rob dude for? What are you trying to rob him for if this was supposed to be so honorable, right? You were standing up for your woman and he tried to violate your woman in front of your 5-year-old daughter and shit. Like, see, this is what I'm... Stupid is as stupid does. We're going to go on. He said, what does he wear on his head? Look, that's a mask because they threw hot boiling water on his face, on his eye. And he said that he beat them up to a pulp. So that's why that's the cover, the side that got boiled. So it's attempted murder. It's attempted murder, it's kidnapping, it's also trying to robbery. And everything you said, it goes out the window about you trying to do this as an honorable thing. No. According to him, y'all just wanted to rob dude. And you try to kidnap dude, rob him, and then try to unalive him, but he ended up getting away. This is crazy. It's insane. Bro needs medical attention. He really do. He do need attention instead of sitting in that room. I mean, at least they got something, something for him though. But Jesus Christ, you throwing hot boiling water on people and stuff, like, what's going on? They need diapers. Add sugar to that boiling water, you have a prison melt face. Yeah, that's what he did though. He did. Or it wasn't vinegar. I think it was vinegar. Water and vinegar. Yeah. Felonious assault. Yes. That is savage. Absolutely. There's so many charges. Oh my God. There's so many charges. This is crazy. Oh, let's go on.
Like, it's crazy. It was taking the car back. Like, bro, I jumped out the car, bro, like on Pace and Fairfield. Like, Pace and Fairfield. They was turning on Fairfield, going up, back up. Bro, jump out the car because I seen the police in the parking lot. Because I had pulled the door. They had my arms tied and my ankles tied up. But when I went to the job, they had let my ankles go. I was like, I can run now, bitch. It's over. Like, once I see a cop, I'm rolling, tucking and rolling out the car. Yeah, they started driving slow. Man, I jumped out that bitch, tuck and roll. Dude tried to hurry up and grab me and everything with a pistol in my back. I tuck and roll, and it just kept going. When I tuck and roll, I thought the other chick that was behind them, following them, was going to hit me. I took off after that, bro. No shoes on, no nothing, bro. My arms tied and everything. Gone. Shit, waved the police down. Police radioed that in. They was asking what car. I like, man, they probably about to ditch my car. I said, if you want to catch them in the other car. The car is exactly like mine. It's blue, and they got a kid in there. It's going to look like they like family type shit, bro. They caught them bitches right there on Mobile Highway, Fairfield Mobile Highway. I only had $40. Like $60, they stole that. That's all they stole. Then they had seen my credit card and seen I was a truck driver. They like, we know you got more money and stuff like that. It was because of the chick. It was the girl that always had a ride with me on the truck and stuff. It was her daughter, and I guess they seen me out there and they set me up. Yeah, she was in there punching me, like had a knife in my throat. Talk about they were trying to kill me, like really kill me, like I got marks where I didn't black out, but I knew if I blacked out, I was dead.
Oh, don't worry,
I am so messed up.
You're more than
my whole right arm.
We appreciate you coming.
I just left the hospital.
In the end, Corey's story of revenge would be proven false, and all the suspects would be charged with kidnapping, carjacking, robbery, and aggravated battery. Both Corey and Aisha were sentenced to 20 years in prison, and Carlton received 15 years for his part in the crime. What are your thoughts on this case? Did they intend on killing their victim? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes, they intended on killing that man, and luckily that man has some spirit, and he got out of Dodge, and he didn't go out without a fight, missing one eye and everything, boiling skin, being beat to a pulp, everything like that. He still, once he was able to get out of that truck, he got out of that truck. But if he didn't get out of that truck, I was gonna unalive them. Plain and simple. I think that they should have got more time, but I knew that he lied. Once by hearing this guy's telling of the story and hearing about the robbery, it was no, this honor thing. He tried to, no, y'all was looking for a come up. You knew you knew the guy, or you seen the guy before because he was dating your girl's mom, and y'all thought he had some money. And then y'all became a bunch of stick-up kids. Y'all called them to the spot, and y'all did what y'all did. But they should have got more time. 20 was not enough for me. I think they should at least got like 25, because they really could have killed this guy. He could have died from y'all throwing boiling water with vinegar and salt on him like that. Like, he could have died. You know, if he didn't get help in time, he could have died trying to get out the truck and the car is moving, and he would have rolled and hit his head on the street. He could have died by y'all beating him to a pole. It's so many situations where he could have died. They should have gotten more time. It should have definitely been more than that. But I'm just glad that this is a case where the person is alive to tell the tale. We don't normally get to see that on this channel. So when we do get to see it, I enjoy, you know, some justice being served, even though there's really no justice when you have horrible shit like that happen to you from horrible individuals. It's really sad. All right, guys, so I have one more video for you good folks, and then I'm going to let y'all go and enjoy the rest of y'all Monday evening. So just make sure you're hitting the like button for me. It truly helps the channel. Please share this out to anyone who is interested in this type of content. And as always, I appreciate everyone who is in the chat, who keeps the channel going. Y'all make the channel what it is, so I truly appreciate all your commentary, okay? So last but not least, this case is about a man. He pretends that he didn't shoot his wife and that he's a concerning husband. And, you know, we've seen the other case before about that horrible lady with the stepson. So I wanted to show this case too because it seemed kind of interesting. So let me go ahead and pull this up on my screen and we can get into it. All right, let's go.
When a young mother is found dead in an ordinary suburban home, all eyes turn to the strange behavior of her husband. Police launch an interstate investigation in a bid to find answers, only to discover that the truth is much closer than they think. In fact, every moment of this young couple's lives can be found hidden in their own house, concealed in an elaborate surveillance system that's only now about to give up its secrets.
What we saw was some of the most shocking footage that I've ever seen in my entire law enforcement career.
This is the story of a young woman who thought she had found love, but instead found evil.
I appreciate all of you guys.
Before we begin, we would like to send our deepest sympathies to the loved ones of Brandy Solenza, whose life was taken far too soon. It's Saturday, April the 7th, 2018. The Johansson family are spending the morning relaxing in their Palm Coast, Florida home. While 36-year-old Keith sleeps in, 25-year-old Brandy chats to her 6-year-old son, Ryland, as he eats the cereal she's prepared.
Okay. I never had that type of cereal.
Ryland, friends say, is the center of Brandy's universe. She tells him that later that day they're going to the Flagler County Fair with Brandy's sister. Ryland is over the moon. He tells his mother that he loves her and then skips off to watch TV. A happy family life is what Brandy always dreamed of. She was just 21 when she met her husband Keith in the spring of 2014. He was 32, a considerable age gap. But Brandy wasn't your typical 21-year-old. Already a single mom to Ryland, Brandy was looking for a stable relationship with a man who could help her create a loving home for their son. And in Keith, she felt she had found that person. In 2017, the couple got married, and by January of 2018, they had moved into the ranch-style bungalow at 23 Felter Lane, just a short walk from the beautiful beaches of Palm Coast.
You know, even though it's cold, it's still beautiful to be here.
They were just this big, happy family that went out and did family activities, and everything was just amazing. Brandy's son, who was not Keith's son, according to Keith, referred to Keith as Daddy.
At 10:30 a.m. on the morning of April the 7th, visitors from a local church stopped by with some reading material. Brandy takes the pamphlets and chats with them at the door. She's friendly and welcoming, as she is with everyone who knows her. After several minutes, she waves them goodbye and heads back inside. Just minutes later comes a call through the Flagler County Sheriff's Department. It's Brandy's husband, Keith.
Okay, what's going on there? I was in the shower. I heard gunshots. And I think my wife shot herself. What happened? I was in the shower and I heard some gunshots. Okay. I think that my wife accidentally shot herself. Do you see her? Yes. All right. Where did she shoot herself? Looks like in my bedroom. Where did she shoot herself bodily? I don't know. I can't see it.
What do you actually see?
She's laying down right next to the bed.
Where is she bleeding from anywhere?
I don't see it. I don't see blood.
Okay. Do you see a gun on the floor or anything?
Yeah, I ain't moving it.
What kind of gun?
It is a 9mm.
Okay. Do you see any head wounds? Did she shoot herself or anything in the head? I need somebody to page it out for me. Do you see anything in the head?
No.
All right. Do you see any? Have you tried waking her up? Do you see any part of her body where she got shot that you can possibly apply pressure?
I don't see anything.
The operator tells Keith to begin performing CPR.
Hi, Michelle.
Keith
How are
is
you?
flustered
I hope you're
and
having
tells
a
the
great
operator that he
Monday.
can't. Clearly finding this strange, the operator persists,
accident-
asking
yeah,
him why he can't
accidentally.
render her assistance. Keith says that his feet are wet and he's afraid he'll slip on the floor and hurt her. He then says that he can't access his wife because she is surrounded by stuff.
We just got married. I got you. When did you guys get married?
That doesn't make sense, and he's getting on my nerves. So your wife is shot, she's bleeding, she needs help, she needs aid. You don't render aid because she's surrounded by stuff. You don't render aid. Like, your excuses as into why you're not helping her and you just letting her bleed out is pathetic, sir. It's pathetic. And I don't understand, how do you accidentally shoot her? What was you doing with the gun out anyway? Oh my goodness. Let's go on.
Last year, but we were going to renew our wedding in 2 months. Please tell me that you guys can save her.
Officers find the body of 25-year-old Brandy lying on the floor of the master bedroom, already deceased. A 9mm handgun lies beside her. A quick examination of the body reveals that she had suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the chest. Sitting in his bedroom is Brandy's 6-year-old son, still watching TV. He's unaware that he just lost his mother. Ryland is escorted by police officers out of the house and to one of their vehicles, where a police officer will wait with him until the family members can arrive.
How long were you in the shower, would you say?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I thought it was a
How many
balloon.
shots did you hear?
2.
You heard 2?
And I thought it was a balloon at first. And I ran out there and seen her laying there going, so I called you guys immediately.
Detectives now move through the house room by room. They find numerous weapons: a 12-gauge Winchester shotgun, a Springfield Armory 6.56 rifle, a 9mm Ruger with magazine, and a .45 caliber Springfield Armory handgun. There is no sign of a violent altercation that might have taken place. The house appears orderly and generally like the typical family home.
This is why his dumb ass, and this is when you want to do a crime, but you're too damn dumb and you don't think things through. And you know what? I appreciate all the dumb criminals continue to be fucking retarded so we can have these cases to view your dumb ass and we can see what type of consequences you receive, right? But there is nothing out of order in the house, right? It doesn't seem like there was no false entry. I haven't heard about a garage being open, the side door being open, or the front door being open. You apparently can't go render aid to your wife because there's stuff blocking you, so you didn't go help her. Then you said you heard 2 shots and you ran down. And then all this is, and the sad thing about it is that all this happened with the 6-year-old sitting watching TV. He doesn't even know that his mom is gone. And the funny thing is, they think they're not going to look. He thinks that they're not going to look at his wife's body to see if she has any defensive wounds on her, that she was trying to fight or attack someone. You think they're not going to look at the house to see if she tried to throw something at someone because, you know, they were aiming or pointing a gun at her? It's clear as day that you ambushed your wife and you shot her without her even knowing. That's why they don't see anything that will give them the idea that it was someone else. There was a tussle, that someone else was in the property. And then on top of that, since it seemed like it's broad daylight, right? Or maybe in the afternoon, the neighbors, you have neighbors in this house, right? Around this house. The neighbors would have saw someone leave out your house. Somebody else had to hear those shots besides you. And the neighbors would have saw somebody leaving your house or running on foot or getting in a vehicle. Oh, these people get on my nerve. Goofiness. So goofy and sad, man. Thought it was a balloon. Right. Look. Oh, you was talking to Bruce. On his hand, right. The gun residue will be on his hand. You're absolutely right, Rakisha. Balloon, 9 milli shot. I know very different sounds. Yes, they are very different sounds. It's not even similar to a firecracker. So what about obstruction him from running? That's what I'm still trying to figure that out, Ken. I'm still trying to figure that out, Kenan. You and me both. We're trying to figure this out. What was in his way where he couldn't render aid to his wife? Yes, stupid motherfuckers. Yes, sorry, Candy. Excuse my French, excuse my language, but I'm getting annoyed with the stupid people that we are reviewing today. So I apologize. I can't get to her. There is stuff in the way. Dude, women have lifted cars off their loved ones who are hurt. Absolutely. Absolutely. He did it. Bet was for insurance money. I think so too. Hey, Bomber Boy, how's it going? Glad to see you again. Thank you for stopping by again. It's just it's crazy. Thank you very much. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it. All that is appreciated. And the church people are in the neighborhood. Right. Like, this is what I'm saying, that so many other people would have seen somebody that they never seen in their community running out of the neighbor's house. They would have heard screams. They would have heard something. If she got shot the way that I'm believing, that she was ambushed or she was shot from the behind, like from the back of the head or in her back or whatever, not, she wasn't expecting it, right? The person had to be somewhere behind her or know where she was in the house to be able to do that. If some random person is in the house and once you hear a noise and you realize that that's not your child or that's not your husband, and you just see this dark figure or another figure come out of nowhere, you're going to be startled. The first thing you're going to do is just scream. You're going to be like, what the hell you doing in my house? You're going to start flinging shit, right? Or, so it's just like, if you don't even see that happening in the household and everything looks fine, everything looks clean for what I've seen from the video, yeah, this dude is not that bright. But he thinks everybody else is dumb. But let's go on.
There are a couple of things that stand out, though. Keith had told the 911 operator that he was in the shower at the time of the shooting. But the floors in both bathrooms are dry, as is
don't worry
Keith's
about it,
hair.
Candy. Don't worry about it.
Scratches on him? Yeah. He's all wet. No. So he was in the shower? Yeah.
Yes,
And
it's
there's
horrible,
something
Bruce.
else. Someone has wired an elaborate video surveillance system throughout the house and the exterior of the property. Every room inside the home and every square inch of the property outside are being monitored 24 hours a day.
So there's a camera right above your head. I see a couple right in front of you above here. And there's a few, I don't know, they're active inside the house as well, so.
To officers, the setup seems excessive even for the most security conscious of citizens. But in terms of their investigation, it's invaluable. But officers are about to be disappointed. Every room in the house has at least one camera, other than the master bedroom. And when detectives ask Keith for access to the footage, he says he doesn't know where it's stored or how to access it. In the hours that follow, Keith is...
So we all know he lying, right? He just don't want to give them access to the videos because the videos will show how you ambushed your wife like you was going hunting for a fucking deer in your own freaking house. And is he just now at this point he's just lying? I mean, I wish they could have just put a shirt on him. Like, I don't even know. Like, honestly, like, it is what it is. But I mean, I guess they want to take him at his purest form. But this guy is lying. I'm sure he's the only one who has the code. I mean, his wife can't speak and give him the code and the password so you can tap into all these cameras. So, I mean, having all those cameras, that shows that someone was, someone is, how can I put it? They don't trust people in their house. Because, I mean, the amount of cameras that they said that there was cameras in every room, like, I can understand probably having a camera in the young child's room, especially if it's like a nursery or something like that. A camera in your room, I don't know. I don't get into people's kinky pleasures and stuff like that. But, you having a camera in every room in the house, it just seems like you don't even trust the people that's in the house with you. So that is raising a red flag to me, because if you don't trust your wife and you think if your wife could be stealing from you or having people come in your house, when you're not here and you have to keep tabs on her and stuff like that, then, it kind of it goes without saying about why you probably would unalive her or do that to her. And then also why you didn't want to render aid if I want to go down that route. But let's go on.
is taken to the station and interviewed. Police ask him to walk through everything he knows step by step.
I knew that something was wrong, that she had accidentally got shot, but I didn't know where.
Who do you think accidentally shot her?
Not me. Herself. I figured she was trying to... How it looked.
Mother! Not you saying that this woman shot herself, sir. They're looking at her body. They can see if the shot is self-inflicted. Obviously, it's not self-inflicted. That's why you're also down there for questioning. And then with your little bullshit ass story that you heard 2 pals. Trust me, if she shot herself, she wouldn't be able to shoot herself twice. You freaking moron. But then again, you don't know how it is to feel to be shot, right? It's not the movie. Okay, it's not the movie, and I'm sure she didn't shoot herself in the leg. Like, it's very freaking painful. Oh, God, she's annoying me. I can't believe he just said, oh, I think she shot herself accidentally. How do you know? And that's another thing. How do you know if she shot herself accidentally? Why wouldn't you say, oh, my God, my wife tried to commit suicide? So you know her well enough that she wouldn't commit suicide, but she would shoot herself accidentally. You just told on yourself, dipshit. Let's go on.
To me, she was maybe move them or trying to move them, or I don't know. I wish you guys would tell me.
As for why she may have shot herself, Keith tells police that he can't rule out the possibility that it was an attempt to end her own life. Overall, though, he feels pretty certain that it was an accident caused by Brandy mishandling the weapon. Detectives ask Keith about the state of his marriage.
How would you describe your relationship?
The best one that I've
Most
had
of the
yet.
systems are on the phone.
She was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, of course. But it was
Possible.
She woke me up, she made breakfast.
Bill of Rights.
She had my back, and that's very rare. She had this online thing, you know what I mean, that she admitted to,
That could be a possibility.
Who cares? You didn't do nothing physical.
But he doesn't show any emotion when he talks of her or
Right.
the accident that ended her life. To detectives,
They need
the
to go
story
ahead and do
Keith
that,
tells
correct.
makes no sense at all. It's likely near impossible that anyone would shoot themselves twice, either by accident or in an attempt to take their life. That night, police interview Brandy's 6-year-old son, Ryland. While Ryland did not witness the death of his mother, he tells detectives something chilling. He says that regularly he would hear his mother screaming in her bedroom, and it was the same kind of screaming he had heard that morning. Meanwhile, police have learned that surveillance footage from the house is stored at a California-based company called Arlo. A warrant is issued to acquire those recordings. On April 9th, 2 days after the shooting, medical examiners perform an autopsy on Brandy. Curiously, a rubber bullet had caused the gunshot wound to the center of her chest. Rubber bullets can cause injury and severe pain, but they are generally used to disable or deter a person and are rarely lethal. The second bullet was to her right breast. That is the one that killed Brandy. The wound had been inflicted from a 9mm bullet, so powerful it had exited her body and struck the nightstand, then penetrated the drywall beside it. Police turned to Keith for answers on why he had rubber bullets in his gun, and his explanation gives police another small glimpse into Keith's strange behavior. He tells them that he has a habit of loading his weapon with 2 non-lethal rounds of rubber bullets.
And before we go on, shout out to Miss Candy. Thank you so much with your $5 cash app, ma'am. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you. As always, I always love when you can possibly support. Just your presence alone is more than enough support for me. But I really, really appreciate your financial support to the channel, ma'am. Thank you so, so much. I just received your notification. Thank you. You are such a sweetheart. Thank you so, so, so much. I appreciate you. And I just want to say this guy's behavior is all the way off. And the simple fact that he had 2 rubber bullets before he has a real one. Normally you do that when you're going to like the range and you're practicing a certain shooting technique. Because even with the range instructors that I work with, when we're looking at like the training on our quick draw, training on how to draw the weapon from our holster as quickly as possible within 1 to 2 seconds, knowing that every second's count, right? They will use dummy ones when we have to know how to do a emergency reload or something like that. What would happen? We would use dummy bullets. So I find it quite concerning that he has 2 dummy bullets and then a real one, because how does that help you if you come across where you actually need your weapon, right? Is that like like you don't want to take someone's life, so probably you want to hurt them or injure them enough for you can get away? I can kind of understand that, but I do find that very weird that he has his his weapon set up that way. And why was the magazine even inside the gun? You have a 6-year-old child in your house, and apparently it seemed like the weapon wasn't even stored for having a 6-year-old in the house. So I find that quite odd. Did you leave it out there on purpose? Did you give it to her on purpose? Like what's going on here? So I want to hear the rest of his story. But I do want to say shout out to everyone. I truly appreciate you all. And let's go on. And have a good day, Onyx. Thank you for stopping by.
It's followed by a lethal round. He's been doing that for at least the last 2 years, he says, so that he can use his weapon on an intruder without killing them. Most importantly, the report reveals the approximate distance from which both guns were fired. One shot had been made from a gun held at close range. The other had been shot from a distance of 3 feet or more. Therefore, Brandy could not have shot herself. The medical examiner rules the cause of death officially as homicide. Keith Johansson has just gone from grieving husband to prime suspect. Before they issue a warrant for his arrest, however, police want to see the surveillance footage from the house. It has taken 3 weeks to arrive after repeated attempts by the company to evade the search warrant. But on April the 27th, they finally accessed the surveillance from 23 Felter Lane. First to view the footage are Detective Nicole Quintetti and Detective Sergeant George Christokopoulos. The footage they have requested is from April the 5th until April the 7th. What they see leaves them speechless.
You up, man. Like bad. It's only a matter of time.
The footage documents a woman being subjected to severe domestic abuse.
So much. You're gonna threaten to kill yourself. And you're gonna spend the rest of your days in an institution. I can throw you there tomorrow. You did? No problem.
On April the 5th, the couple spend the evening in the master bedroom where, for about 5 hours, Keith compulsively smokes meth from a glass pipe. He launches several verbal attacks on his wife.
Yeah, you push a person to either beat or kill you because you're...
He leans into her face and berates her, demeans her, and calls her vile names, and threatens her life while she cowers on the bed.
Oh, Brucey, you can go ahead and do that if you want. I would just think more of protection of your information, right? Because this is the internet, right? We got a lot of crazy folks who also view in and tune in too. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just say, be careful, Brucey. Be careful. Yeah, but this guy is a complete trash. I'm glad that they was able to get the video so they can actually show what this woman was going through prior to her being shot. He's threatening her. He's verbally, emotionally abusing her. She's scared. You can see that she's in fetal position in the bed. And he's just really going bonkers and crazy with her. He even threatened to put her in a psych ward and say that she tried to kill herself. So I don't know. Seemed like he planned this from the day before.
Quietly weeping or staring at the wall. At one point, she curls into a ball. Keith is convinced that Brandy is cheating on him, even if only in her mind. He describes in graphic detail the sadistic violence he would like to carry out on her and how much he would like to kill her.
I always do. I show every type of situation.
Too many chances, man. Too many. Show a cop these videos. I'd rather be in prison. I could call one of my homies and make sure you both die. Why? Because I gave up everything on a chance. But somebody lied. Cheats. Does this and that. You know what? I'm gonna leave it here, haunt you. Maybe one day you will.
After more than 5 hours of this, he can be seen reaching up and snatching the camera off the wall. It's the evening of April the 5th. 2 days later, Brandy would be killed in that very spot. Footage from the day that she is killed shows Brandy chatting with Ryland, him saying that he loves her and her saying it back.
I love you. No, I do.
At 10:33, Keith is seen picking up his jeans from the living room floor and speaking to Brandy in an argumentative tone. A minute later, Brandy reappears, crouches down, and then goes back to the master bedroom. These were the final moments of Brandy's life. It seems too coincidental that they are hidden from the watching eye of a camera. She is killed in the space of just 3 minutes. By 10:37, Keith is on the phone to 911. Could an argument have escalated in such a short period of time?
No, he wanted to kill her. He was talking about killing her the day before. We saw the video, we saw the recording. He was badgering her and threatening her for literally 5 hours straight. When she came, she was walking on eggshells in the kitchen. She could barely even say "I love you" to her son. She felt that something was wrong. She already knew something was wrong, but she had to force herself to say "I love you" and play it off that to make her son feel like everything was okay. He literally waited until she went back into the bedroom for him to attack her. That means that the weapon was ready and available for him to get it. That means it wasn't locked up. It had the magazine already in it. He just pulled it right out of the nightstand. And I don't know if he's on, he does seem higher than a kite. You're absolutely right, Candy. He does seem like he's on some sort of substance. Even to the point somewhat of how he's acting is similar to PTSD, but I'm leaning more towards substance. And it seems like he always had an abusive nature when it came down to her. When it came down to her, he was always abusive. Let's go on.
It seems unlikely, and police are about to uncover more evidence of just how cold Keith truly is. From the moment he calls 911,
Hello.
Keith suddenly reappears in the living room. He can be heard telling the 911 operator that he's checking for injuries on Brandy. Instead, he is scrambling around, hiding drugs and drug paraphernalia.
Heard gunshots? I think my wife shot herself.
Okay, are you applying pressure to that wound?
No.
And lo and behold, the truth comes out. Like I said, drugs. Like y'all said in the chat, drugs. High as a kite. Whole cokehead, crackhead, tweaker. Keenan said he lost it and finally made good on his threat. That's a shame. Her son was in the house when he did this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you never seen it? Well, thank you, Arias, for coming in. I appreciate you. Did he said he leave him out for her to use? Yeah. He was smoking meth. Terrible. The funny thing about it is, though, that even if you're on drugs, drugs can make you do so many different things. If you're suicidal, it can be that extra push for you to go ahead and do something and put your life in danger. If you're thinking about murdering someone, drugs will give you that battery in your back to go ahead with it because you think that your plan is good, it's concise, and you're going to get away with it. If you're thinking about robbing someone, drugs also give you the battery to believe that you're going to get away with it. But see, this is what I'm saying is that drugs, they don't create someone to do these behaviors. Those people intentionally have that mindset to do those things, and drugs is used as a tool for them to get over that hump where their conscience was supposed to kick in. But let's go on.
Find yourself like that. I'm wet. I'm sliding on my floor.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Taking a shower? Okay.
His wife is dying alone in the bedroom, and he is preparing the house for police to ensure he's not facing drug charges. Detectives now feel they have enough evidence to prove in a court of law who was responsible for Brandy's death. 3 weeks after the investigation began, Keith Johansson is arrested and charged with second-degree murder. In the days following Keith's arrest, detectives, along with Assistant State Attorney Jason Lewis and Assistant State Attorney Jennifer Dunton, watched the videos again. The scales of the verbal abuse, physical intimidation, and blatant threats to end her lives moves them to make a bold decision. They decide to prosecute Keith for first-degree murder.
It gave a very clear picture that Keith Johansson had it in his mind days before that he was going to kill Brandy Salenza. He said it several times on video that he needed to leave the home so that he wouldn't kill her. She needed to kill herself so that he wouldn't kill her.
I'm gonna kill you and go back to jail.
The state prosecutors believe that when the jury sees Keith remove the camera from the bedroom, how quickly he executes the murder, and his behavior during the 911 call, they will believe that the murder of his wife Brandy was premeditated. But Keith is about to come up with all new stories as to what really happened that morning. While Keith awaits in the county jail, he makes a new confession to police. This time he says he believes it was a neighbor who shot Brandy, the same neighbor who caused him to begin keeping a weapon in his nightstand. This confession is shot down in flames when he's reminded that they have footage from the surveillance cameras that proves no one else entered the house. Several months later, he changes his story again. He tells police and his mother during a phone call from the jail that he believes it was Ryland, Brandy's 6-year-old son, who shot Brandy. The audio from the call is not clear, but the detective in the video explains it.
Investigator Quinn Terry, I know that was a quick call. What was of evidentiary value in that call between the defendant and his mother about what he said?
They were talking about his stepson, and Mr. Johansson says, well, what if he did it? And obviously the mother's response was, he's 6.
Right, okay.
Keith maintains that he never hurt Brandy, that he is innocent. Not one, not even his parents believe him. Perhaps because, on top of the evidence, they know Keith's past. Extensive details about his past have not been disclosed, but we know enough to get a good picture. Over the years, Keith had been diagnosed with several different mental illnesses. Mental illness alone rarely leads to violence, but in Keith's case, paranoia and anger issues had collided to a disastrous effect. As a teenager, he spent time in juvenile detention. A long-term relationship with methamphetamine had given him the finishing touches to his personality. He was paranoid, jealous, controlling, and someone with a violent temper. By the time Brandy crossed paths with him, Keith had already been charged with domestic violence by a woman who had a daughter with him. She had kept the baby secret in order to protect herself and the child. In the early days of his relationship with Brandy, Keith had asked her to connect with the woman over Facebook and then ask her who the father of the child was. Brandy did as asked, but the woman became suspicious and blocked her. Later, Keith was charged with violating a protective order when he and Brandy were seen waiting in a car at the woman's work and videoing her with their phones. At some point, Keith had found work as a roof contractor, but a supposed back injury led to a settlement that meant he could essentially stop working altogether. His drug use escalated. He became hypervigilant and developed a persecutory delusion that led him to carrying a weapon at all times, and later convinced Brandy to do the same. He forced Brandy to give up her job. Once at Felter Lane, a neighbor had visited the house. Thinking that he had an agenda, Keith began keeping a gun on his nightstand. He began regularly visiting a local shooting range for target practice, and he rigged up a multi-camera setup to enable him to see who was on the property at all times, and when he wasn't home, what his wife was doing. But watching her wasn't enough. He couldn't see what was going on in her mind, and became convinced that she was having fantasies about other men. And despite her never being out of eyeshot, he believed that she was physically cheating on him. In his mind, she likely deserved to die. He certainly never shows any remorse.
So pretty much this woman done went and married a full-on psychopath, narcissistic a nutcase, right? And she ended up marrying him when he was at his worst. He wasn't getting better. He wasn't getting better. So it's just like, it's sad. Like, I understand, like, he had a rough, I guess, a rough growing up, rough childhood and stuff. He had a whole bunch of mental issues that was not being diagnosed properly or getting treatment from, and he carried them into his adult life, and it just started to spiral even more out of control once he hurt his back and got caught on medication, and then started doing hard drugs after that. But he's been controlling, he's been paranoid, and he's been abusive. He even have a history of it. And this poor woman, you know, she was caught in a marriage with this guy and having to deal with him. And I'm sure she understood that he had issues and stuff like that, but she probably didn't think, I don't know. I don't even know why she didn't leave. Like, I mean, the first time you threaten me or you threaten my child, not only am I going to leave, you better not ever see me face to face ever again, right? I don't play about my kid. I don't play about my family, none of that. So once that happens, there's no going back. There's no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever is dead is done, and you are no longer allowed to be in my presence anymore, right? Safely. So I just don't understand why she didn't leave. You know, like, why, when it got like that, you know, she should have had tried to make an exit plan, but then I could tell that she was very scared. And she was probably also scared that, you know, he might hurt the child, you know, or drastically hurt the child if he couldn't control her. And, you know, and some people, and this is not only just with women, but some people, they'll stay in bad situations because they're fearful that another loved one will get hurt. So they kind of like put themselves as like the sacrificial lamb to endure it all, hoping that eventually they'll get tired or they'll find a new target or they'll take themselves out, you know, or move themselves from the equation. It's just really sad when you start to think about everything together about what this woman was going through. And the fact is, at the end of the day, this woman decided to love someone who had a lot of problems, a lot of issues, and she still tried to love him and be loyal to him the best way possible, and that wasn't good enough. And this is when you have to start really thinking about yourself and really thinking about the safety of your children, because that's not even his child, right? That's your child from a previous relationship. That there could have been anger and hostility, and he could have want to go after that child, and you know, no questions asked. He don't feel nothing about that child. That's not his kin. That's not his kin. So it's just really sad. If you really think about it all around, it's really, really sad. But I'm glad that they're finding out that, you know, all this about him, all the things that he did, his past history, domestic violence, his own mother of his child had to hide her pregnancy because that's how violent he was. That she couldn't even tell him that she was pregnant with his kid because who knows how he acted or conducted himself in their relationship. That's crazy. Sean said, then to top all that off, hello drugs, right? Yeah. Hi, Turkey. How you doing? Good to see you. Agree. She should have seen some. Yeah, it's signs, and it's just really like just believing what you see, right? Because we do see some signs, but sometimes people literally talk themselves out of it. You know, they'll talk themselves out of it. Oh, you know, they just need to be loved on a little bit more. They need to go see therapy. They need to go get help. It's at one point, do you become the sacrificial lamb, you know, for someone to get better? And and I understand this is husband and wife, so that's a little bit different, right? That's very touchy, right? Because they're actually legally married. Because even with that, your vows, right? Your vows says, "Do death do you part," through sickness and health. And sickness, also part of that sickness is mental health. But look what happened. Look what happened. Now a young boy don't have his mom, and obviously he didn't have his father. Right? I hope he does have his father. His father will take him in after this. But at this point, this little 6-year-old boy, he doesn't have any parents. Sean said he tried to blame the kid. Yeah, he did. He tried to blame the kid. Like, look at that, right? Turkey said, I grew up with a violent parent, was lucky enough my mom got her stuff together and got out, and my stepdad was the best possible influence I could ever have. I'm glad that happened. You was able to get out and everything worked out for you, Turkey. Flower said they really need to do something about mental health in this country. I am 100% in agreement with you. Mental health is a serious, serious crisis. Oh, no, I don't. I'm off, but I will be spending some time with my honey bunny, my son. Yes, and this is Men's Mental Health Month. So shout out to Bruce for reminding us. Thank you. All right, let's go on and let's finish this out.
Lead up to the trial, Keith makes one last-ditch effort to save himself. He's mentally ill, he claims. He can't remember what occurred on the day of the murder and therefore is unfit to stand trial. By now, Keith has established himself as a compulsive liar, and he is declared competent to stand trial. On October the 26, 2021, Keith's murder trial began with opening statements by Assistant State Attorney Jennifer Dunton.
I've got to get away from you, or I am going to kill you. You have to tell me when you're masturbating when I'm gone, or I will kill you. Those were the words of this defendant 2 days before his wife, Brandy Salenza, was found shot and killed in their home, in their master bedroom. Those threats to kill were captured on their home surveillance system, on a camera in their bedroom on April 5th.
Defense attorney Gary Wood then spoke on behalf of Keith.
Ms. Salenza was killed in self-defense, and you're getting her.
No! Oh my God! Not self-defense. So I was wondering how the defense attorney team was going to swing this, but now that I see that they took the route of self-defense, this man is going to get thrown the book at. Good riddance. But there was 2 ways that he can go about it, right? He could have pleaded that, he was under the influence of drugs, especially since they found out that he tried to hide all the drugs and stuff like that before the police came. They have he has a history of domestic violence, a history of anger management problems. I thought that they were going to lead with that. But the simple fact that the defense attorney decided to go with self-defense when homie from the beginning said that he wasn't even there, he was in the shower and he heard 2 gunshots. He thought there were balloons. He couldn't render aid because there was stuff around where his wife was. He said he did all this, and now all of a sudden he had to shoot her in self-defense. Yeah, your defense attorney don't like you, and this is what happens when a defense attorney don't give a damn about the money. They don't like you, and they want to see your ass rot in prison. That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. Let's go on.
Their instruction about what self-defense is and justifiable homicide. It's a very tragic case, and I'll explain what happened and what evidence you will hear, both through cross-examination of the state's witnesses and from testimony that we'll also provide on our side.
After 3.5 years of endless lies to police and his parents, Keith Johansson now presents the jury with a whole new story. This time, in a voice devoid of any emotion, he explains that he did indeed shoot his wife, but it was in self-defense. In this new version of events, he and Brandy had been smoking meth for 10 days straight. At some point, he had felt sick and stopped, but she continued, finishing the last gram on her own. By this time, she had been awake for several days straight. He describes to the jury how he heard his name called, only to find himself staring into the barrel of a gun and his wife saying that he was not her husband. She was looking at him but not seeing him, and told him he was made of plastic. Terrified, he grabbed a gun for himself, walked toward her and tried to disarm her, but she wouldn't drop the gun, so he pulled the trigger.
Well, I woke up and I went to the living room to retrieve my pants because I was thinking about taking a shower. Then I pretty much was in the bathroom, took off my pants, getting ready to step into the shower, and I heard her say "boo," which is the nickname that she uses for me. So I go out there, and she had a weapon in her hand. She said that I was not her husband and I was plastic, and I had walked forward to her, trying to disarm her, and, well, I had grabbed my gun, the one that was in the box. Okay?
Mechanic?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Then
He is completely lying. You see how many times he's licking his lip? He has dry mouth for all the fucking lies he's telling. Complete lying. And he put on a couple of weight. I guess he's kind of weirded out that he don't got that meth anymore, huh? Dude is, this dude is, man. He's like this. Yes. Just lying his ass off.
and I started walking towards her, trying to, say, hey, man, and trying to bark orders and for her to drop it and to disarm her. And then she would not do so. So I got closer and I tried to grab it from her.
Candy.
And she lifted it up and a round went out of my gun on her. Then she cocked and swung as I'm retreating. And another round I pulled off because she was pointing a loaded weapon at me.
So how many times did you fire the canic?
Twice, sir.
Twice, okay. And where were you at and where was she at when the first shot went off?
We were almost face to face.
Okay. And
because I was trying to reach down and get it.
So using the bed as a reference, where were you at in reference to where were the two of you at in reference to the bed?
Well, how it is, sir, is there's a space, there's a gap between our bed and the wall. And there's a dresser right over here. So we were, man, I wish I had a diagram and I would show you, but so here's the nightstand. She was right here and I was right here.
He also explains that he was wet enough to slip on the floor but did not have wet hair when detectives arrived. He'd literally just stepped into the shower when he heard the gun go off, so he had stepped out before getting his whole body wet. As for the endless lies to both law enforcement and his parents, Keith says he lied to detectives because he was not represented by a lawyer. He also did not want to tarnish his wife's name by telling everyone about her meth use. In other words, he'd allowed himself to violently end her life, but drew the line at sullying her reputation. The state demolished his claim of self-defense. They pointed out the domestic abuse, the endless lies he had already told, that Brandy had been at a neighbor's house the day before and showed no signs of being delusional. The medical examiner testified that the amount of methamphetamine found in Brandy's blood in her toxicology report were nowhere near the levels that would cause someone to lose control of their faculties or become delusional or aggressive. The trial only lasted 4 days. On October the 28th, 2021, the jury took just under 3 hours to come to a verdict for Keith Johansson. Guilty of first-degree premeditated murder.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Keith John Johansson, as follows to count 1 of the indictment. Guilty as charged as the crime of first-degree murder.
Keith Johansson was a man who used control, intimidation, and violence to soothe his growing paranoia and increasingly loose grip on reality. He kept Brandy where he could watch her and set up his home to facilitate that monitoring of her 24 hours a day. But even that wasn't enough. So he removed the camera from the crime scene, waited for the right opportunity, and then extinguished her life altogether, leaving her beloved son Ryland and her family to suffer the consequences.
Little things were big things to her. A butterfly, just amazing person all the way around. Had no fear.
Circuit Judge Christopher France sentenced Johansson to life without parole. After the sentencing, Sheriff Staley said, "A young woman and mother lost her life, and a young son has lost his mother because of a moment of rage. Her husband thought that violence was the answer. I hope that he will spend the rest of his life in prison." Ryland is now being raised by his biological father.
Brandy wasn't just my sister. She was my best friend. She was a mother. She was a daughter. She was young. She still had a whole life to go.
Yes, she was pretty, and it is a shame.
And he just took her away, and nobody was able to say anything. And
yes, that is true.
And being in jail is great for freaking him. He gets to live, as we still have to suffer inside with my sister gone and knowing and have to deal with Ryland growing up knowing his mom is not here with us. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like the video, comment down below your take on it, and please subscribe to the channel. On your way out, don't forget to hit the notification.
That one was really sad. It was so sad. That poor woman, she was beautiful. She was taken away from her child. This abusive, druggy husband of his, he was literally talking about killing her and unaliving her, and he literally just went ahead and did it. I really thought it was like one of the lowest blow outside of just killing, unaliving her and going through all that lying and saying, oh, she must have did it. The worst you could possibly do is to blame her son. You went as low to blame a 6-year-old boy that he shot his mom. So a 6-year-old boy is strong enough to shoot his mom 2 times, right? Even in that camera video, you didn't even see the little boy go into the master bedroom. We saw you though. We saw you go right into the master bedroom after her. I just think all this stuff is sad. And I'm sorry, guys. I really do hope that you enjoy the cases and the videos today, because the first one and this one kind of got me. I just hate when something happens to kids. I really can't stand people who harm kids. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I can't stand people who harm kids. But I do think that these cases were good to review and to understand certain things about how people move and what's in their mind when they're thinking about doing certain things that they're doing. Guys, I will be back tomorrow for you good folks. Like I said, I'm on my little vacay, so I'm going to try to get out as much live streams and content for you guys until I have to head back to work and still figure out how my time schedule is going to go moving forward. But I do appreciate every last one of you who's been rocking out with me. Y'all been the great. Y'all the cat's meows. I appreciate you. And let's see. I know a couple of people popped in. Hi, Mary. How you doing? I want to acknowledge you. How are you doing? So, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Please enjoy the rest of your night. All right. And love on your loved ones. I'm going to love on my honey bunny, my boo bear, my son. We about to have a good time. It's movie night. So y'all take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.